Now, we proudly present Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Brought to you by
Overhead Door of Berwick, Berwick Notary, State Farm Insurance, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Community Bank, the Willows Golf Course, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Blaze Alexander Family Buick GMC of Bloomsburg, Berwick Dental Arts, W&L Subaru Nissan and Mazda, Reds Roofing, Preferred Portables, Nespoli Jewelers, Neighborhood Fence, Ken Pollock Ford, Mayo Funeral Home, ND Accounting and Consulting, and Mason's Monogram Service.
Now live from the studio. Here's Jim Doyle and Andy Ulickney.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight from Crispin Field in Berwick, it's the Bulldogs against the Cougars of Hazleton area. I am Jim Doyle, along with Andy Ulickney. The producer of this broadcast is Ashlyn Walshaw. Well, after 2 long road trips, back-to-back weeks, the Bulldogs back here at the friendly confines of Crispin Field, still looking for that elusive first win. The latest loss at Lackawanna Trail last week, 35-0. Bulldogs desperate to get some offense going. They scored on their very first possession of the first game of this season. They've now gone through 11 quarters without an offensive touchdown. So after losses to Lake Lehman, Mid-Valley, and Lackawanna Trail, they come in 0-3 to renew a long rivalry with Hazleton area, the 31st meeting, against a Cougar team that is 1-2, but coming off their first win of the season. They lost to 2 powerhouses to start the season. Nazareth area and Williamsport, both those teams are undefeated. Nazareth is ranked 5th in the state in classes. And beat West Scranton 30. Their outstanding wide receiver gets his first start as a quarterback. Andy Ulickney with us for Bulldogs football tonight. Andy, it's tough, no matter how athletic you are. Billy Hansen's very, very athletic to play that position. He's going to get his first start tonight. We know he
the thing that happened during the week. Quarterbacks are playing extra in JV games. An injury occurred. They've been throwing interceptions. They said, "Wait, we need a guy. How about Billy?" He is probably the best athlete on the team, and he's a natural athlete. He's one of pull it out of someone's belly and throw a swing pass, throw a hitch, throw a top. What type of system, what type of plays, what are you going to have to stop? So I think Berwick has a nice transition with surprise and with a very talented athlete that might jumpstart the offense.
If he does throw, though, he's down 2 receivers. Julian Howie is out with an injury, and then Billy Hansen is at quarterback. So those are 2 targets that he won't have, but we don't expect to see. I'd see, depending on how long he plays, maybe 8-9 passes at the most, just to keep him honest.
Yeah, I think just enough to keep honest. But you also do have Gabe Decker, who I think's been underutilized. The big tight end, whenever they seem to go his way, he seems to be open and he fights for the football. And I think if you're looking at play fake and throw to Gavin Galusha, he's among the leaders in the team in receiving with 3 catches for 27 yards. And those are the type of passes you would throw to a guy who's not used to quarterbacking.
Hazleton area suffered through a 2-8 season last year, but 6 of those 8 losses were by 7 points or less. They have 16 starters back from that team. They expect big things. I wouldn't put too much stock in their first 2 losses. Those are 2 very good teams that are still undefeated. This is a team that expects a good season despite the 1-2 start.
Yeah, they have a great offensive line with a lot of people returning, and they feel that their best athletes are at running back in Hunter Johnson and in the quarterback in Austin Wilson. Now, again, stymied against two superior opponents in the openers. That came alive a little bit last week, and they hope to continue the progression, the evolution this week against Berwick.
And he'll be by later with the keys to tonight's game. Dennis Bookman is the head coach of the Cougars of Hazleton area. We'll hear from him when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Weekend number 4 of the high school football season. Kicking off here at Crispin Field tonight as the Bulldogs renew a long rivalry with the Cougars of Hazleton area. Berwick football powered by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute and the region's only nationally ranked hospital for orthopedics by the U.S. News and World Report. Our team is ranked among the top 20 in the nation and is your unrivaled partner for orthopedic care. Well, as we mentioned earlier, Hazleton area was down 3-0 to West Scranton last Friday before coming back in the second half for a 13-3 win, improving their record to 1-2. Cougars head coach Dennis Bookman evaluates his team's season to date.
Well, I mean, first of all, when you talk about, you know, we pride ourselves on competing against the best, and I think our schedule reflects that, especially in the early portion. You know, week 1 playing a top 5 team in the state, Nazareth. Week 2 playing an undefeated Williamsport team who is playing really, really well defensively right now. Week 3 we sit out. We're just trying to stay on schedule, limit mistakes that we feel like we've been the victim of our own circumstance early on in the season. And we were able to do just that in the second half of West Scranton, sustain drives, be able to stay on the field, convert third downs, stay ahead of the sticks as well, and make sure those third downs were third and shorts for us. Being able to get the ball consistently into some of our playmakers' hands. We had more consistent quarterback play in that second half of the West Scranton game as well. So it was a culmination of an allotment of things. Really proud of our guys in terms of the way that they did respond out of the half to West Scranton. It was an unusual game for us, and certainly for West as well, being a 4 o'clock start on a Friday. But we feel like we were able to generate some offensive momentum in that second half of West Scranton.
Austin Wilson was your starting quarterback a year ago, but missed games down the stretch with an injury. He's back as the starter. He accounted for the 2 scores in the second half against West Scranton, though. What did he do well?
Austin, he just did an excellent job of leading our offense. He's somebody that not only myself and our coaching staff, but also his teammates think very highly of, not just because of his play on the field, but his leadership. His leadership was absolutely invaluable in that second half. It's tough to win football games. It's really tough to win football games on the road. And as I said, his leadership really shined in the second half. He made plays with his arm and also with his feet, made some really good reads in a read game, and just was somebody that his teammates truly could not only look up to, but look to make some big-time plays as he did in that second half.
Even though Berwick's 0-3, I'm sure you're not taking them lightly, especially playing them at Crispin Field. What are some specific concerns you have about them?
First of all, and I told our coaches at our staff meeting and our players immediately when we came in for film and our lift, that this football team, to me, we're not even thinking about them being 0-3 because it's a really, really good team. And I don't just say that as coach speak. I'm just impressed with them. I mean, first of all, physically, who and what they are across the board on their offensive and defensive lines. You see a lot of familiar names, guys who've logged a bunch of snaps, and then some youth there, too, that are really, really impressive. Talking about guys immediately like Chase Shuckers, a name that feels like has been in Berwick now forever, playing up front for him, and has had a lot of success there. When you look at them, and then how about the allotment of athletes and skill guys that they have? There's no secret about number 5, Tiny Wilkerson. But then there's so many other complementary type of players that are just able to take over Friday night games. I see Billy Hansen, and he's flashing all over the field. You see Caleb May making plays defensively for him. Rocco Romeo, I would feel that Coach Curry thinks he's probably the heart and soul of their defense from his Mike Backer position and what he can bring to the table offensively as well. You have the Bankus kid who's getting carries for him. You have Galucia who can get carries for him as well. So I just look across the board there, and the list goes on and on with Julian Howey and Alex Estrella, and you can name a bunch of guys for them, and I think that's something that makes them really dangerous. Is you can't just focus on one guy. You can't focus on one player for them. Coach Curry, his staff, from an offensive standpoint, they did a nice job of getting the players involved that they need to, and their defense has been really, really good. I mean, even last week, 35-0, the Lackawanna Trail, but their defense was tough throughout. I mean, they gave up an offensive score there. They gave up a special team score. So the defense has proven week in and week out, from the Lake Lehman game to Mid-Valley to Lackawanna Trail. They're one of the better defenses in our conference right now. You look at Berwick football, and I can't say enough, great things about Coach Curry and his staff, and the players that they have, because they really have something building and brewing in Berwick. I truly believe that.
That's Dennis Bookman in his 5th season as head coach of the Cougars of Hazleton area after 6 as an assistant to Mike Brennan. His record 23-20. He's the 7th Hazleton area head coach since the jointure in 1992 of Hazleton, West Hazleton, Freeland. But he is the first Hazleton area grad to be a head coach. He was a 4-year varsity player and an all-state defensive back in 2006. His Cougars come into this game with a 1-2 record. Berwick against Hazleton area. We'll check the starting lineups when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1. And literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
The all-new Willows Golf Course and Events venue in Berwick is making strides this fall. They'll be taking reservations at the end of the year for any of the 3 fully renovated event rooms. With their own new delectable menu options, bar offerings, and comfortable room accommodations. Check out their Facebook page for updates and information on how to book your next corporate event or special day at the Willows Golf Course and Event venue in Berwick. The Willows is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number 1 when you have to go number 2.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Very warm evening here on a Friday the 13th at Crispin Field as the Bulldogs get set to take on the Cougars of Hazleton area. The starting lineup offensively for the Cougars. At the H-back, and sometimes we'll see him at the fullback position, number 22, John Carlos Peralta, one of their captains, 5'10", 195-pound senior. Gabe Boris starts at left tackle. He wears number 68. He's 6'1", 245, a senior. Tommy King is the left guard. He wears number 73. He's 5'11", 260, a senior. Jake Zapataki is the starting center. Jake wears number 55. He's 5'10", 250 pounds. He is the only underclassman in that offensive line. He is a junior. Manny Salcido is the right guard. He wears number 57. Manny is 6 foot, 265, a senior. And the right tackle, number 74, Jeremy Ackerman. He is 6'3", 230 pounds, a senior. They have an outstanding wide receiver, Johansel Moran. He wears number 6. He's a 6'2", 170-pound junior. Caught a 28-yard touchdown pass against West Scranton. He caught only 1 pass in the opener, but in the last 2 games, he's had 11 catches for the season, 12 receptions, 124 yards, and a touchdown. The quarterback is Austin Wilson. He's a 5'11", 180-pound senior. Missed the last couple games of last season with an injury, including the one here at Crispin Field, which Berwick won 39-34. On the season, he's completed 45% of his passes, 143 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He is their leading rusher. 25 carries, 165 yards and a touchdown, and he had a huge play in that win over West Scranton. 43-yard quarterback draw touchdown in that game. Second leading rusher is number 8, Hunter Johnson, who just might be their best player overall. We'll see him a lot as a linebacker on defense. Hunter is 5'10", 195, a senior. He's averaging 5.4 yards a carry on 20 attempts. As we said, John Peralta, we may see some at the fullback position as well. So that is the starting lineup offensively for the Cougars. Under Dennis Bookman in his 5th season as head coach, they come in 1-2. For the Bulldogs, the tight end, a freshman and a captain, number 9, Gabe Decker, 6'3", 180-pounder, 5 receptions on the season for 52 yards. The left tackle is number 56, J.J. Leonard, 6 foot, 255, a junior. Draven Geiger starts at left guard. He wears number 70. Draven's 5'11", 275, a junior. Gavin Jones missed most of last week's game at Lackawanna Trail with an early injury. He's back in there. 5'8", 215, senior center. The right guard is number 62, Matt Gordner, 6 foot, 280, a junior. And the right tackle, number 64, Chase Shuckers, 6'2", 265, a senior. We mentioned that Billy Hansen, a 6'1", 175-pound senior who's a wide receiver, will get his first start at quarterback. Julian Howie, who normally would play behind him at a wide receiver spot, is out with an injury. So we'll see some of number 13, Alex Estrella, a speedster, at that wide receiver position. Alex, who also starts at free safety on defense, is a 5'10", 175-pound junior. We mentioned Billy Hansen. He has 5 receptions on the season for 77 yards and a touchdown. He's carried twice for 1 yard. We expect to see a number of carries for him out of that quarterback position tonight. Again, Ashton Smith may play some tonight. Jake Lisnock will not. They've been alternating. Jake out with a concussion. The leading rusher for the Bulldogs, number 2, Gavin Galusha, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, 39 carries, 120 yards. When the Bulldogs use the fullback, we'll see number 90, Aiden George, 6'1", 220, a sophomore, or number 33, Rocco Romeo, a 5'10", 215-pound senior. Another wide receiver in addition to Alex Estrella will be Ty Wilkerson. He is a speedster, the Wyoming Valley Conference 100-meter champion, 6'2", 190-pound junior. He is the leading receiver for the Bulldogs through 3 games, 7 catches for 85 yards. That is the starting lineup for the Bulldogs. Again, they're looking to get some offense mounting and particularly get in the end zone. That sounds simplistic, but they have moved the ball at times. In fact, there was only an 18-yard difference in total offense between the Bulldogs and Lackawanna Trail last week, but Berwick could not get on the board. They've gone 11 consecutive quarters without a touchdown. As we see the Cougars of Hazleton area making their way on the far side of the field, white jerseys, white pants, white helmets, red numerals and trim. Bulldogs about to burst through a banner across from us and to our right as they come out of the field house. They're in their all blues tonight. Blue jerseys, blue pants, white numerals, white helmets, and trim. Again, the 31st meeting between Berwick and the Cougars of Hazleton area. That is the jointure. You go back a lot farther than that as the Berwick went into many games against Hazleton High School as the Bulldogs just now making their way on the near side of the field. And Gavin Jones holding the American flag with the Bulldog on it as we come across. We saw an actual Bulldog in the opener. Don't know what happened to him. Maybe he's injured as well, but he is not out there. So it's Berwick against Hazleton area. We'll check the keys to tonight's game with Andy Ulickney when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the 2 big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
Escape the ordinary this fall. Navigate the unpaved roads in a Mazda CX-50 with as low as 0.9% financing for 60 months or 1.9% for 72 months at W&L Mazda. Maneuver through the city streets in a nimble Mazda CX-30 with low financing rates or up to $1,000 customer cash. Find your Mazda at W&L, off Route 11 in Northumberland, online at WNLMazda.com or at the Bloomsburg Fair.
Financing available to well-qualified applicants only. Offer cannot be combined with any other discounts or incentives other than loyalty or military offers. Offer ends 9/3/24. See W&L Mazda for complete offer details.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates. Why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the 2 big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
Berwick High School marching band far to our left, and our crowd mic doesn't extend that much. But anyhow, we're just about ready for football. Berwick against Hazleton area. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, I think the keys for Berwick defense, but they get a bit more aggressive. You know, Jim, they've been a little tentative in the early weeks, and sometimes it's inexperienced players worrying about their areas of responsibility. You play with somewhat of a reticence. You don't want to make a mistake. And I think when you get that defensive mindset, hey, you got to play with a passion. You got to really get aggressive. You got to not be afraid of making this make. Go for the hit. Play with a violence. And here they're going to have to stop the stars of Hazleton. They have a good running back in Hunter Johnson. He's one of their best athletes, 195-pounder. You're going to have to get up to him and gang tackle him, rally to the football. They have a fine quarterback in Austin Wilson. He's also the leading rusher. So besides his passing prowess, you have to worry about him running the ball. And when they do pass, Hansel Moran, 6'2", he's a stud. 12 receptions on the year, 124 yards. Berwick has the ball offensively. Well, we'll see what quarterback Billy Hansen can do. I think he's going to become an integral part of the running game. and he should make Gavin Galusha even stronger as they worry about Billy Hansen. I think we'll see limited passing, but the short passing game should be sharp. Watch for passes to Galusha. Watch for the swings to the speedbacks. And watch for Gabe Decker, the tight end, to join in.
Berwick won the toss, deferred to the second half. Hazleton area will get the football. This game is underway. A low line drive. Kick takes a high hop, goes by one man and another, and then it's finally picked up by Carlos Gonzalez, and he's got running room and one man to beat, and that one man, the kicker, brings him down at the Berwick 42-yard line. Spectacular return by Carlos Gonzalez, and Hazleton area in great position to start this game.
Yeah, spectacular tackle, too, by Logan Robinson, because for the 25 yards coming to him, he's an open field. Time to cut left, cut right, try to juke, try to use speed, but he could not lose Logan Robinson, who played that safety position well and made that open field tackle to preserve the touchdown on the opening kickoff.
Berwick's going to start with a 4-3. Gabe Decker, Gabe Decker, and Nico Lonzinski, Chase Shuckers, and Skylar Neville. The front four will check the back seven after this play. As Hazleton area moving from our right to our left at the Berwick 42-yard line. 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. Now, one of those receivers shifts to a running back position. A fake to him. They carry is by the quarterback, Wilson. He gets to the 40-yard line. The Berwick linebackers in that 4-3. Shiloh Escobar. In the middle, Gavin Galusha. On the other side, Rocco Romeo. The corners, Caleb May and Billy Hansen. Strong safety, Ty Wilkerson. Free safety, Alex Estrella.
John Carlos Peralta came on into the huddle, Jim. We saw Carlos Gonzalez as the man who went into the backfield. He only has 2 carries all season. So they're trying to do things with shifts in formation, still run the quarterback. Berwick, pretty good job defending it.
Just 2 yards on that carry by the quarterback, Wilson. 2nd and 8, Cougars from the Bulldog 40. Wilson out of the gun, back to throw. Big pass rush, gets it away downfield, incomplete, intended for Moran. Good coverage down there by Caleb May.
Yeah, Caleb May had inside position, was able to run with him. Ball far overthrown because the coverage was so strong. So give Berwick credit for staying downfield with a good receiver.
3rd down and 8 as Hazleton area gets an extra wide receiver on the field, and Jack Mariano. The ball at the Berwick 40-yard line, probably 4-down territory for the Cougars. We'll see how they play it on this 3rd down call, as they have 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. And now in motion goes Gonzalez to the right side. Wilson has the snap, rolls right, looking to run all the way, and he'll get only to the line of scrimmage. Boy, Berwick played that very, very well.
Oh, yes, they did. Shiloh Escobar's the outside linebacker on that side. And while they brought a 4th receiver and sent them all downfield, he stayed put in the short zone. And when he saw the quarterback rolling his way on a designed run, came up and dropped that quarterback for a loss of 1.
Yeah, that was a run all the way
yeah.
by Wilson. And we mentioned probably 4-down territory for Hazleton area. Even though it's 4th and 9, looks like we may see a play from scrimmage.
Wilson is their punter as well as quarterbacks. They could shift from here, or you could see a quick pooch kick from the shotgun.
Austin Wilson looks to the sideline. Has the snap. He's back to throw. He's going to be sacked back near midfield. Austin Wilson buried. Big defensive play. Gavin Galusha from his linebacker spot.
Caleb May as well, I believe, blitzing on in there, Jim. But yeah, Berwick with pincher-like movements got through the line of scrimmage. Quarterback had nowhere to go. He'll lose about 8 yards on the sack, and Berwick will take over right at midfield.
Galusha's first sack of the season, and the Bulldogs take over at midfield against a Hazleton area defense that will line up with Cristriel Martinez, Andrew Gensel, Joel Vasquez, and Sam Heller, the front 4. Linebackers, Ashton Carlick, Hunter Johnson, John Carlos Peralta, Michael Vasquez. We'll check the secondary after this play. Berwick, 1st and 10, right at the midfield stripe. Billy Hansen awaiting his first snap as a quarterback. Gives the ball to Galusha. Gavin off the left side will pick up a couple. Secondary for Hazleton area. Riley Van Gils and Carlos Gonzalez at the corners. Xavier Heck at the safety. 2 yards for Galusha to the 48. Second down and 8.
Yeah, you want to start pretty much vanilla. Let that quarterback who's never taken a snap get his feet wet. Easy handoff off the left side to Galusha, but Hazleton up to the challenge, stopping it.
Slot to the right side. Ty Wilkerson is in the slot. After a shift, Romeo's on a wing to the right. And Hansen takes the snap, rolls right, looking for some running room, makes a nice cut, and does not get very far. In fact, right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like he had something going, but the Cougars quick to the football, including Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah, they were quick to the football, Jim, because I thought he'd have the corner. He has great speed. But he's starting deep in shotgun. He rolled back just a little bit to let blockers get in front of him. We're pulling out. But Hazleton able to penetrate through those blockers and get to Hansen.
3rd and 7. And on this obvious passing situation, Ashton Smith enters as the quarterback. He's got a running back to either side of him and a slot to the left. 3rd and 7. Smith rolls to his left, stops, fires the pass, and it's in the turf at the 41-yard line, incomplete. Punt team on for Berwick.
And Ty Wilkerson was out. He was kind of hooking up and bending to an out pattern. Instead, the quarterback threw inside.
So, Bulldogs will punt it away. Logan Gennaro and Riley Van Gilst deep for Hazleton area. 4th and 7. Berwick at the Hazleton area 47. So both teams get the ball in the opposition's territory in their first possession. But Hazleton's possession stopped on a sack. Berwick's on an incomplete pass. There's a nice kick by Sean Bankus and a fair catch down at the 9-yard line by Gonzalez. So nice punt by Sean Bankus.
Yeah, good play by the specialty teams, Jim. He got it nice and high. The return man had no choice, either let it bounce, and it probably wasn't going to make the end zone from there. Berwick could have downed it on the 1 or 2. Instead, the fair catch is the option, and Berwick has good field position for its defense to start this drive.
8 minutes, 31 seconds remaining in a scoreless first quarter. Here at Crispin Field, Berwick looking for their first win. Hazleton area trying to win 2 in a row after that victory over West Grant last Friday. Here's Wilson out of the gun. He's got 2 running backs and gives the 1, and there's a good gain all over the 20 to the 22-yard line. So Wilson, who's been running the football, that time handed off to Ashton Carlick. And Carlick with a strong run to the 22-yard line as they get out of trouble with that 13-yard run.
They found Ashton Carlick this week in practice, apparently, Jim. He had no carries prior to that. They like his explosiveness, and he did get them out of the hole very well, moving the chains.
Well, check that. He did have 11 carries on the season coming into this game and gets 13 there. And Hazleton area with a first down to 22. High snap. Give off the right side. Boy, there's a really good tackle. Oh, Ty Wilkerson coming from his linebacker spot. Carlick, and just a classic tackle by Wilkerson after a gain of 2.
Yeah, he did come up, squared up with him, gave him nowhere to go, left or right, and tried to shake and bake. But Wilkerson then explodes up into the man and drives him up and then down to the ground. Beautiful play defensively.
2nd and 8, Cougars at their 24-yard line. They send Moran wide to the left. Billy Hansen has that assignment, and that's a tough one. Austin Wilson out of the gun. Has the snap. Play action, back to throw, dumps a pass off, incomplete. Too high for Peralta, who then took a hit from Alex Estrella as the ball hit his hands.
I'm a little surprised we're not seeing Hunter Johnson carry the ball. Leading ball carrier on the team, described as one of their best athletes. He's a two-way player, plays at linebacker as well as the running back position. But so far, they've just been faking it to him.
3rd down and 8. Cougars. Last time they had the 3rd down, Berwick came with the blitz, and Gavin Galusha got the sack. See how R.J. Hawes, defensive coordinator, plays it here on a 3rd and 8. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wilson, low snap, has it, back to throw, big pass rush, gets out of it, is going to run with the football and will not get the first down. He's brought down at the 25-yard line, just a yard gain on the play.
Rocco Romeo was reading it as he drifted back into his own coverage. From linebacker, he kept his eyes on the quarterback. He saw the potential for the sack. He saw the scrambling, the wiggling, and he eventually comes up, and he'll limit that to about a 2-yard gain. Great play for the defense.
Berwick's going to get it back. Sean Bankus back, anticipating the punt of Austin Wilson. Sam Heller does the long snapping on the punts for the Cougars. Wilson is back at the Hazleton area 12-yard line, anticipating the snap. Good snap. Kick is away. Nice punt. As Berwick will field the football and brought down the 43-yard. Sean Bankus called for a fair catch. He let it bounce. And
Braden Schaefer picked it up and tried to return it. It was blown dead. Is that a flag? It's blown dead. I guess they're not going to penalize it. I guess it's not a penalty. I would have thought it was.
The officiating crew for this game, John Basic is the referee. The umpire is Galen Miller. Jacob Schust is the linesman. Line judge is Robert Jones. Brian Jakotsky is the field judge. The side judge is Brendan Boyle. So Berwick gets it for their second possession. Second time they've had good field position. First time started at midfield, now at their own 42. 6:10 remaining in a scoreless first quarter.
Taking their time on the sideline to get the play. Quarterbacks are at a little bit of a disadvantage, Jim. We don't have the 25-second clocks working in each end zone. So they're going to have to keep their eye on the side judge, to see when the clock starts winding down to 15 and then 5 seconds.
Slot to the right side. Wilkerson comes in motion. Fake to him. Billy Hansen keeps the football. Nothing there. He reverses field to the left. He's over midfield to the 45, the 40, down the far sideline and inside the 30-yard line. Terrific run by Billy Hansen. The play was designed run to the right. There was absolutely nothing there. He reversed it to the left for a big gain and a first down at the Cougars 28.
Eventually, freshman safety Xavier Heck able to pull him down, but it looked like he was going to return it all the way. I mentioned the natural athlete, Jim. It's a sweep to the right without blocking, like a naked boot. And boy, there were two people there. Quickly changed directions, went right across the formation, turned it into a sweep to the left, and big yardage.
30 yards on the carry by Billy Hansen. First and 10, Berwick at the Hazleton area 28-yard line. And we have a timeout called by the Bulldogs. 5:27 to go in a scoreless first quarter. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
W234BH West Hazleton at 94.7, WBWX at W242CY Berwick at 96.3, W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3, and W288CF Danville at 105.5. Your home for Berwick Bulldogs football is Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains media station. WHLM Bloomsburg.
Senior Billy Hansen, normally a wide receiver, getting his first start at quarterback tonight. And moments ago, just a brilliant run by him. Starting to his right, reversing to his left, a 30-yard pickup, putting Berwick at the Hazleton area 28-yard line with a first down. A little confusion as they lined up for that first down play, so they called a timeout.
Hansen may not be comfortable getting the signals in. The other thing, too, Jim, after that 30-yard sprint, he was probably winded. And if he's going to be a big part of your offense with his legs, you want him to be well rested.
Hansen out of the gun. Estrella to the right. There's a running back to either side of Billy Hansen. One is Ty Wilkerson, and he gets the call. Tries the right side. He'll lose yardage back to the 33-yard line. Hunter Johnson, the first one there for the Cougars.
Miguel Vasquez finishing him off in the backfield, Jim. they like that jet sweep because of the speed that Wilkerson can afford them. But that's been being read well. Team scout, they know where the talent is. They keep their eye on Wilkerson. And when he starts coming across formation, they anticipate jet sweep. They came upfield and stopped it.
2nd down and 13. Bulldogs at the Hazleton area 31-yard line. Gabe Decker's the tight end to the left. Slot to the right. Estrella's outside of Wilkerson.
Might be his first pass. Let's see.
Hansen now under center. Play action. Rolls left. Big pass rush. He'll be sacked back at the 42-yard line. Terrific play by Hazleton area's number 74, Jeremy Ackerman.
Yeah, it was. Part of the problem, Jim, is when he came out from under center, he didn't get out quick enough. The right guard pulling, I believe it was Big Chase Shuckers, kind of bumped into him. So it threw him off his rollout going to the left. And before you know it, here comes the penetration and no way to escape it.
So it is 3rd down and 24 for the Bulldogs. Hansen will line up now as a wide receiver to the right. And Ashton Smith enters as the quarterback. Takes the snap, back to throw, looking long into traffic, and the ball is tipped and intercepted and returned to the 16-yard line. That was one of those throw it up, and if it is picked off, maybe it's as good as a punt. But It was picked off by Heck, Xavier Heck, the safety, at the 17-yard line. 4th interception suffered this season by Ashton Smith.
Second good play we've seen by Xavier Heck. He saved a touchdown run that looked like Billy Hansen was going to have with a saving tackle. And now he goes up high in a crowd of about 4 people. And Jimmy's just a freshman, 5'8", listed at 140 pounds. But he must be quite a player if he's breaking into this defensive lineup as a freshman.
You know, I meant to ask Dennis Bookman this week, and I forgot if Xavier Heck is any relation to Josh Heck.
Oh, yeah.
Who was an excellent running back at Bloomsburg.
Yep.
So, the interception, the turnover. Cougars, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. 3:44 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Out of the pistol now. Carlick gets the call off the right side and will get very little. Berwick's defense has looked very strong in the early going.
Yeah, and they've set the blocking all to the left. They rolled in that direction, stuck it in his belly, and he countered to the right. So I don't know if they just don't feel they can overpower Berwick, but so far it's unique plays, and we've yet to see Hunter Johnson touch the football.
2nd down and 10. Cougars at their own 17-yard line. Stay with us at halftime. Ashlyn Walshaw will bring us updated on all the high school football scores as we kick off weekend number 4 of the 10-team regular season. Wilson gives the ball to Carlick again. This time some running room. Billy Hansen has to come out of the secondary to make the stop at the 25-yard line.
He'll get about 6 or 7, Jim. Gabe Decker also crashing down the line of scrimmage to help stop that inside play.
3rd and 3 for the Cougars at their own 25-yard line as they move from our right to our left in this opening quarter. Wilson, as he's prone to do, goes to the sideline.
And I'd anticipate him running, Jim. He's down to their best weapons. Leading rusher on the team from the quarterback slot.
3rd down and 3. Scored on a 43-yard quarterback draw against West Grant last week, and that's what this is, and he's got room, and he's got the first down out to the 31-yard line. Quarterback draw on 3rd and 3. Rocco Romeo makes the stop for Berwick.
Rocco Romeo is going through the other A-gap as Austin Wilson comes opposite him, so he has to grab him by the shoulder pads, take a little bit of a ride, and then pull him down, but not until Austin Wilson has that first down.
And now we see Ashton Smith, who has played exclusively quarterback this season, in that defensive line. He's at a defensive end to the right, opposite Gabe Decker.
5'11", 205 pounds, Jim. I was surprised seeing him warm up without his equipment on, how big he was.
First down, Cougars with a 31. Berwick coming on a blitz. Wilson with the pass. He's got Moran, and Moran gets out to about the 39-yard line. The big target makes his first catch Caleb May went down low to bring him down.
You have to respect the speed, Jim. You want to not get beat deep. They already tried deep one time on Caleb May. So this time he squares it off a little bit short, about a yard or two short of the chains.
2nd down and 2. Cougars at their own 39-yard line as we go under a minute in this fast-moving first quarter. Still no score in the game.
Carrying the offense nice. Number of different running backs, running quarterback, and now the pass being sprinkled in.
Gonzalez wide left. Wilson, after a shift, has 2 blocking backs to the right, Johnson and Peralta. Gives to Karlik up the middle. Hard run by him, looking for the first down. Looks like he has it.
Yeah, I believe he does, Jim, following those blocking backs that time, and they will move the chains.
So it's a 3-yard pickup for Aston Karlik, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
I'm watching the Cougars' offensive line, and I'm looking at their right guard, Jim. I want you to notice him. He almost seems a yard back, which would be an illegal formation if the officials would choose to see him as off the line of scrimmage. I've noticed it on a few plays. Keep an eye on that maybe being called on a game where he's being pulled.
1st and 10. Hazleton area from their 42. And that is the end of the first quarter of play before they could run that play. 1 in the books here at Crispin Field. No score. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
After 1 quarter is 0-0.
Berwick and Hazleton area, no score after 1 quarter of play here at Crispin Field. Both teams had the ball in the opposition's territory. Berwick twice, Hazleton area once, but nothing on the board just yet. Berwick appeared to have something going after the 30-yard run by Billy Hansen. Bulldogs had a first down at the 28-yard line of the Cougars, but after that, Cougar defense came up with 3 straight tackles for a loss, and Berwick forced to punt it away.
Hazleton's offense has had a nice rhythm, Jim. They've taken it from, deep in their own territory out to here. A mix of using the running back, Ashton Karlik, the running quarterback, and Austin Wilson, and mixing in the pass here and there. Different looks, different counters, quarterback run. There's deception within the running game.
Cougars move from our left to our right in this second quarter. Gavin Jones is in the Berwick lineup. He is at the middle linebacker spot. Wilson gives the ball off, and Gavin Jones across quickly for a loss back to the 41-yard line. He came right up the middle for that middle linebacker spot, put a big hit on Karlik, and it'll be a loss of a yard on the play.
Wow, you announced him, Jim, and does he make a showing? Comes firing through the line of scrimmage, a yard or 2 deep. Quite the collision back there, and a loss of yardage for Hazleton on that first down play.
2nd down and 11 Cougars. Moran splits wide to the right. Van Gilst in the slot. There's also a slot to the left. Austin Wilson, the senior quarterback, awaits the shotgun snap. He has it, and he's back to throw, and Berwick coming at him. Gets the pass away, incomplete. Bulldogs got some heat. Nico Lonzinski right in the face of Austin Wilson.
Trying to throw a slant to Hunter Johnson. He was in the backfield. He's been there, but he hasn't touched the ball yet. He kind of jetted out from the left halfback and then tried to run between the linebackers. Tried to thread the ball in there, but Berwick with good defense with the pass rush and in pass coverage.
3rd down and 11. Hazleton area. As they get a wide receiver there, Logan Gennaro. Wilson trotted to the sideline, got the play from head coach Dennis Bookman. 3rd and 11. Gennaro is wide to the right. There's a slot to the left. There's a running back to either side of Wilson as he awaits the shotgun snap. Has it. Back to throw. Looking, fires downfield. Has his man at midfield. Short of the first down yardage as Moran went up and got it. Cougars with a decision to make.
They'll be right at midfield on a 4th and a long 2, Jim. They took a chance earlier, but they had a little better field position. I think they'll take the chance again here.
I don't think so.
Nope, they're changing personnel. In Berwick, indeed, that's the thought.
And Austin Wilson will try to do just that. Berwick not buying it right now. Now they send someone deep. Sean Bankus awaiting the punt from Austin Wilson.
Billy Hansen, the deep man.
Low snap. He gets the kick away. Hansen will let it roll. Takes a nice roll where the Cougars are concerned. It will go dead about the Berwick 13-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will put it in play with 10:14 to go in this first half, and still no score in the game.
Deep man has to yell when that ball's going to bounce, like clear out, clear out. Caleb May was down blocking for Billy Hansen, and the ball almost bounces into him as it sort of shanks off to the right toward the sideline.
So Berwick, with their third possession, by far their worst field position. They started at midfield. They started at their own 42, and now they're starting at their own 13 as they move from our right to our left. Slot to the right, Estrella is wide to that side. And Ty Wilkerson in the slot. There's a slot to the left as well, but Caleb May shifts now to a running back position. And the first down call goes to Caleb May, and May gets some yardage over the 15 out close to the 17 on the first down carry.
Defensive tackle diving as an offensive lineman falls in, grabs at the shoelaces, and trips Caleb May up where he would have had more. As it is, he'll get a long 3.
And a Berwick player injured on the play, so we'll have a timeout with 9:58 to go in a scoreless first half. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and Andy Olegny from Crispin Field in Berwick, kicking off weekend number 4 of the high school football regular season. No score between Hazleton area and Berwick. Concern for Berwick now is an injury. Matt Gordner, their starting right guard, is being treated back about the 15-yard line.
Notice Nico Lonsinski in the sideline huddle, but he's been alternating in throughout the season in the offensive line. Not sure he's been playing in this game.
And Nico played a lot of center at Lackawanna Trail last Friday. There was an early injury to Gavin Jones. Well, Gordner is on his feet, walking, albeit slowly, to the sideline.
Limping, giving a little preference to the left leg, but it might be one he could shake off. Berwick certainly will hope so.
I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on the radio, but I'd say he's going to be back in there eventually.
I think so too.
Caleb May had that previous carry, just his 4th of the season, picked up 4. Second down and 6. Bulldogs have got a lot of time to talk about this call from their own 17-yard line. As they send Estrella wide right. Wilkerson in slot to that side. Hansen out of the gun. Fakes handoff, keeps the football. Starts out left, nothing there. Cuts it up the middle and is close to a first down. Again, that running ability of Hansen as he faked the pitch to the left and then cut it up the middle. They're marking it back, though, to the 24-yard line, but it's enough for a first down. They needed 6. He got 7.
Yeah, You know, he's that natural athlete, Jim. This guy playing street ball. You get him out there, it's called as a sweep left, but he sees it's not there, cuts back against the green and gets the good 6-7 yards he needs for the chains.
1st and 10, Berwick at their own 24-yard line. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Billy Hansen out of the gun. Wilkerson goes in motion to the right. Hazleton area jumps across.
Where they trot, we'll have to see. Linesman coming over, signaling to the referee, and it is against Hazleton, Jim. Mark the signals, got the right down defensive end to come across the line of scrimmage. That pulls the flag.
Very few penalties in this game.
Yeah.
Is that the first?
First that I recall.
Nico Lonsinski is the replacement at the right guard position for Matt Gordner. Berwick 1st and 5. Wilkerson in motion to the right. Hansen, quarterback draw, looking for room, has some, and spins out over the 40 to the 41 for a first down.
He's a runner first, Jim, so even though he's going to give you a quarterback draw fake from shotgun, taking a step back and the arm coming up, I think Hazleton has to realize the biggest threat is the run from Billy Hansen, and they weren't really playing it with that in mind. They gave him a nice seam off over right guard where Nico Lonsinski's filling in, and he's able to make it and move the chains again.
He had a 30-yard run earlier, 11 yards on that quarterback draw, and Berwick first down at their own 40-yard line. Skylar Neville is a tight end to the left. A running back to either side of Hansen. Wilkerson to his left. Has the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage, but gets out of it and makes something out of it out to the 48-yard line. Good penetration by Hazleton area. Looked like a loss. Hansen gets 8 yards.
It's street ball, Jim. It's basically street ball. He's getting it. There's a design play in mind. When Hazleton shuts it down, takes away the sweep to the left with the quarterback, he just breaks it up the middle, and he's able to use his intuition, find the seam, and bring it just 2 yards from the line to gain.
2nd down and 2. Bulldogs at their 48-yard line. Gabe Decker is the tight end to the right. Rocco Romeo, tight end to the left. Now an I formation for the first time. 2nd down call. The tailback gets it, has the first down, and then some to the Hazleton area 43-yard line. So Berwick goes to the I, and Gavin Galusha comes through.
Yes, he does. They changed quarterbacks to Ashton Smith, who took the snap. Player.
Timeout on the field.
Great rates. Why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas, now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 5.
First half here at Crispin Field. No score in the game. Berwick for the 3rd time in this first half in Hazleton area territory. Following the Cougars timeout, Berwick 1st and 10.
Really had a nice burst up the middle. I'm curious after the stoppage which quarterback.
Line. I formation. Toss sweep. Galusha sweeps the left side, finds some running room. Didn't look like there was a lot there, but Galusha got the corner and picked up 5 to the 39. Maybe they give him 6.
I think they had an uncovered tackle up on the right side, which means you could put your extra split end over here and cover one of your receivers. So an extra blocker in the receiving core. And Galusha, who's quite fresh, that was just his third carry of the game, is running hard.
2nd and 5. Berwick at the 39. Cougars really bunched up along that line of scrimmage. Galusha gets the call. He's got running room. Breaks free at the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He's in for Berwick. Touchdown! Gavin Galusha from 39 yards out. And the Berwick offensive drought is over.
Boy, he just exploded. We mentioned with formation, they have Hazleton a little off balance, where they were showing strength on the left last time. Now they run it to the right. He hits the B gap. The offensive line, led by Nico Lonzinski, helps clear the way. And boy, he had a seam, beats the linebackers, and before you know it, it's off to the races.
Berwick had gone 12 quarters without an offensive score. Galusha gets in from 39 out. Caleb Yost with the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 6:41 to go, first half. Berwick 7, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
What a drive by Berwick. 8 plays, 87 yards. Gavin Galusha from 39 yards out for the score, and the Bulldogs up 7-0 with 6:41 remaining in this opening half.
And neat play calling. You're calling the number of running quarterback Billy Hansen, who's kind of improvising, breaking off the called plays and finding seams in that improv. And then all of a sudden you kind of switch over to the power running of Gavin Galusha. Power and speed, and he makes it go from midfield on in.
And boy, Hazleton area's defense really bunched up along that line of scrimmage, not giving any thought to a pass. And of course the negative part to that from a defensive standpoint, if you break through that, as Galusha did, you're gone.
Yep.
And he was. So Logan Robinson will kick off. Now, he kicked off to start this game, and Carlos Gonzalez had a long run back into Berwick territory. In fact, Robinson kept it from a touchdown. Logan's kick is a line drive kick to the far side, headed toward the out of bounds, and it goes out of bounds. So Hazleton area will have good field position, but not as good as they had on that opening kickoff.
Nope, Berwick's defense is going to have to get on up there and take the momentum the offense has given them. Play with the same type of energy and to hold Hazleton in check here.
R.J. Hawes, the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, has to be very pleased with the way his defense has come to play tonight. R.J. coached at Williamsport for some time under Charles Cruz Sr. and loved coaching for that guy, a real character. So Hazleton area moving from our left to our right with the football at their 35-yard line.
Offensively, Ashton Carlick has been called on with 6 carries. He has 25 yards. The quarterback, Austin Wilson, has 4 carries for -1. Berwick's pressured him well. Passing, he's 2 of 5 passing, both to Johansson Moran for 16 yards.
Trips to the left. Moran is wide to the right. Berwick coming on a blitz. And the ball carrier Johnson gets his first try and gets very little, maybe a yard on the play.
Pretty much ran into the blitz, Jim, as Berwick put everyone in the gap. Skylar Neville ended up inside in the A gap to finish the tackle. They'll give him a yard, but, if you're running into that type of fiery steam coming at you, you can't expect much.
Second down coming. Closer to 8 to go for the first down as the ball just short of the 37-yard line.
Hunter Johnson with the first touch, as you mentioned, Jim. I thought we'd see a lot more of him earlier, but that's his first carry of the game for those two.
And he is the running back to the left of Austin Wilson. 3 receivers to the left. Wilson back to throw, looking to the left, fires a pass into traffic. It's batted down, incomplete. What a play by Caleb May.
Yeah, he's on Johansel Moran. That time they tried a little skinny post, almost a slant. But Caleb May read it quickly, saw it, got in, got a part of his body in there to knock that ball away for the incomplete. Well defended.
So it's 3rd down and 8 for the Cougars. Back at the 37. Boy, they'd hate to give up the football after Berwick just put together that long time-consuming drive to take a 7-0 lead.
But they need 8, Jim, and to do that, you have to kind of risk the deeper mid-range pass.
Johansel Moran wide to the left. One of 3 receivers to that side. Berwick coming on a blitz. They're coming hard. They'll get to Wilson. Aiden George with the sack inside the 30-yard line.
Rocco Romeo showed blitz from inside linebacker up the A-gap, and every one of the linemen pinched down to close it off. Aiden George is a defensive end. They pinched down, left him go, and he had that clean shot. And boy, he didn't let it escape him as that sack goes for about -8.
And it's 4th and 16 for the Cougars as Sean Bank is back anticipating the punt of Austin Wilson.
Single safety.
Sam Heller with the snap. It's high, but Wilson pulls it in and gets the kick away. And it'll be fielded at the 36 by Bankus, and he's brought down in his tracks. Great coverage downfield by the Cougars.
Yes, it was. Xavier Heck, Jim, the freshman. He's been a playmaker on specialty teams. Saved a touchdown earlier, fought for an interception. And now that 140-pound 9th grader getting down on the very dangerous Sean Bankus, preventing a punt return.
When you see a 9th grader in the starting lineup for a team, there's one of 2 reasons. 1, the team is desperate. 2, that player is a very, very special 9th grader. And I think Xavier Heck and Gabe Decker are 2 examples of the latter. Berwick moving from our right to our left. 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. 4:52 to go in the first half. The Bulldogs have a 7-0 lead. They line up in the I formation. And Berwick almost had a man coming on late. Flags fly. This one will come back as the handoff for a gain of a couple yards.
Somebody offsides. I think it might be Berwick, Jim. I was a little surprised to see that it was Billy Hansen and under center for the direct snap. Again, as a coach, I'm getting a first-time quarterback in there who hasn't played the position. You sometimes worry about that direct snap. Shotgun would be safer, and I'm not a fan of shotgun. So when he was under there and marking the signal, something a little bit off, going to be a 5-yard penalty against Berwick. So or is it more? They marked 7 off.
Bring it back to the 27. The line of scrimmage is 32. No, they're right.
Okay.
1st and 10. Bulldogs, 1st and 15 from their 27. I formation. Wide receiver to the left. Hansen under center, gives off the left side, a gain of a yard, maybe 2 on the play.
Yeah, Galusha was going to have to high step through the line. There was a little bit of a seeming get his head and shoulders through, but then legs were there, and he wasn't able to high step enough to get over that. Can't really blame the running back there.
2nd down, about 14 for Berwick. Ball short of the Bulldog 29-yard line with 4:20 remaining in this opening half.
Ball leaning toward the left hash. See if they use the wide side of the field to the right.
Wilkerson wide to the right. 2 blocking backs to the right. Hansen out of the gun now. Has the snap, rolls right. A keeper all the way. This time not much doing. Gets to about the 31. 3rd down coming up.
Billy Hansen likes the notion of cutbacks. That time he had extra blocking out there wide. Kind of tried to use his speed to get to the corner, but he's been finding that people get upfield and turn that corner in. This time he might have been able to get wide and use the sideline, opted instead to try the cutback. He'll get about 2.
And it will be a 3rd down and 12, Berwick. When you have a quarterback who hasn't thrown a pass in his career, facing 3rd and 12, not an ideal situation. Let's see how the Bulldogs handle it.
Power formation to the right.
I formation behind Hansen, who's under center for this 3rd and long. Billy has the snap, play action. Back to throw, looking long down the far side. Wilkerson comes back on it, can't make the play, incomplete.
Good defense on him. I think they realize down and distance is a passing down, no matter who the quarterback is. So while the front 7 did recognize the run fakes and stuff in there and then try to get pressure, Hansen threw a nice deep ball, but Wilkerson unable to get past the cornerback.
4th down and 12. And it's not a bad idea to once in a while go to that long pass. Even if it's not successful, they can't ignore it.
No, keep the secondary honest where they're not coming up and playing it like linebackers.
Aiden George will do the long snapping. Sean Bankus back at the Berwick 16-yard line. Good snap. Kick is away. Nice punt. Very, very high. Cougars will let it bounce, takes a roll their way. Rocco Romeo will down it at the 44. So good field position for the Cougars, who have 2 timeouts left and 2:59 remaining in this opening half. Berwick continuing to lead this one 7-0.
Defense has been very strong for Berwick. We're seeing a good bit of stunting out of the linebackers. Fills the gaps on runs and penetrates on through toward the quarterback on passing plays. Passing, there are only 2 completes and 6 attempts, both 8-yard completions to Johansel Moran. Caleb May has been doing a real nice job covering him.
So the Cougars out on the field after talking things over with their head coach, Dennis Bookman. They were shut out in the first half last week as well. We came back to win that one against West Scranton. Austin Wilson out of the gun. Berwick showing blitz, and they're coming hard. It's a running play, and Johnson has some running room, and he gets a 1st down near the Berwick 45-yard line. Hunter Johnson with the carry.
You mentioned Rocco Romeo coming up and showing blitz, and that's in the A-gaps, Jim. And if the A-gaps, you're running outside in the B or the C gap, you're running past that blitz. There's one less linebacker to go and to make the play. So Hunter Johnson, one of the leading ball carriers on this team, coming through with a very nice run there.
10 yards on the carry by Hunter Johnson. The ball at the Berwick 46-yard line. Wilson out of the gun. Johnson again. This time he'll get the couple to the 43-yard line. Pick up about 3 on that 1st down carry.
Shiloh Escobar squeezing in from outside linebacker, but he's coming in tight. Not really his area of responsibility, but Berwick will certainly take him making a tackle.
2nd down and 7. Will be under 2 minutes remaining in the half before this snap occurs in Berwick territory.
And they're not really hurrying things, Jim. They want to be deliberate with each play, but I think they need to hustle it up a bit if they want to get to the end zone.
Moran is wide to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Wilson back to throw, trying to set up a screen to the far side. Has a man, and a big gain for Johnson down the left sideline inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Beautiful play designed by the Cougars, who pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, they'll gain around 20 on that until they finish marching it off. They had 3 receivers out there, and they all went deep, and then Johnson swings out of the backfield, gets behind some linemen, and fine running. Mentioned we hadn't seen him earlier in the game. I'm surprised they waited so long to get him his touches. Now not just the runs where he has 15 yards on 3 carries, but also this nice screen pass.
Gain of 14 on the play to the Berwick 29-yard line. 1:20 to go in the half. Cougars looking for the tying score, trailing 7-0. Wilson back to throw, fires, has his man, Moran. Boy, a nice tackle in the open field by Caleb May right at the 24 as the Cougars will use a timeout. 1:07 to go in the half. Berwick leads 7-0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is proud to be keeping generations of beautiful smiles across Bulldog Nation. Dr. Susan Ermish, Dr. Nathaniel Fluke, and their staff practice general and restorative dentistry, and they're open Monday through Friday. Whether you need a simple cleaning or a complicated procedure, Berwick Dental Arts will see that you have the best smile so you can be your best. Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is a proud supporter of Berwick Bulldogs football. Visit their website at berwickdentalarts.com.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
1:07 remaining in this first half. I have Hazleton area with one timeout left. The scoreboard says 2. That's important down here at the stretch as they have the ball at the 23-yard line of Berwick.
And
earlier, second down and 4.
Yeah, earlier the scoreboard guy told me it was a Hazleton timeout, so there should be just the one left, Jim.
As Hansel Moran is wide to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Cougars following their timeout. Wilson has the snap, back to throw. Pump fake, now he's looking long to Moran, one-on-one, and great play by Caleb May again. Boy, he's given up a lot of size to Moran. Went up with the big guy and knocked it away.
Yeah, Moran really stretches up at 6'2", and the notion was let's put all the other receivers to the left side of the field. Moran isolate on Caleb May. May's been doing a tremendous job all game on him. And in the isolation, they're going to throw up the high ball in the end zone, and Caleb May with inside position bats it away.
Third down call coming. Cougars need about 5 from the Berwick 23. 1:01 remaining in the half. Peralta is to the left of Wilson, who awaits the shotgun snap. Berwick showing blitz. Wilson back to throw, fires, has a man, but a great tackle in the open field back at the 23-yard line.
Catch was by Carlos Gonzalez, Jim, but immediately the Berwick defender brings him down. It's going to be short of the chain, so we have a stoppage.
And the Cougars will use what we think is their final timeout at the 21-yard line. Boy, you get a man in the open field like that with a completed pass. I mean, one missed tackle, it's a touchdown. Sure tackle by Ty Wilkerson.
Yeah, he really, like a rocket, came from safety, and the man's upfield. He's only about 5 yards out. Safeties normally have deeper coverage than that, but he was able to read the quarterback's eyes and his step, and he broke immediately toward Gonzalez. And as Gonzalez reaches out to catch the ball, and it was a fine catch, he should have been able to turn upfield and fall forward for the first down, but instead Ty Wilkerson in position to just drive through him and keep him a good 2 long yards short.
Fourth down. Closer to 3 for the first down at the 21-yard line, and the Cougars out of timeouts, and that could be significant with 49 seconds remaining in this half.
Well, the main thing is get the first down. If you have to, you get up there and you clock it. Keep your eye on the quarterback running, Jim.
Slot to the right side. Wilson awaits the shotgun snap. Here's the fourth down call. He's back to throw. Looking. Fires a bullet pass over the middle. Has his man Moran. Moran inside the 5. Moran getting tackled at about the 4-yard line. Hansel Moran. Now you can see Dennis Bookman across the way telling his team to spike the ball and stop the clock, and that's exactly what Wilson does. 37 seconds after he does that. That's what remains in the first half. And Hazleton area at the Berwick 5-yard line, 5 yards away from a tying score, trailing 7-0.
But in a place where you really can't afford to run the ball, Jim, you have to waste it down and clocking it there. If you don't get in the end zone, there's the danger of the clock running out. So I'd keep my eye on 6'2", Hansel Moran. He has 3 catches, all hard fought. Caleb Mays played him tough, but on that last play, he broke deep inside into the linebacker area to make the catch.
So big series of plays here with 37 seconds to go, and Berwick with that 7-0 lead.
And again, keep your eye on the running quarterback. They may roll him with the option to pass or run.
From the 5, he's back to throw. He fires, diving attempt incomplete. Boy, Skylar Neville coming hard, was all over Wilson, and that's the reason that pass came up short.
Yeah, and Johan Carlos Peralta almost made the mistake of catching the ball, Jim. Had he got it on the dive, he's downing himself, and that clock has a good chance of running out. Fortunately for Hazleton, he's unable to make the catch, and he was valiantly trying to pull on in.
33 seconds remaining in the opening half. Hazleton area at the Berwick 5-yard line. Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead.
And third down because they had to stop the clock early.
Johnson is the running back to the right of Austin Wilson. Wilson has the snap, rolls right. Hit hard as he gets the pass away. It comes up incomplete. Is there a flag down at the goal line?
I'm trying to see.
This would be huge, and it would go against Berwick.
Alex Estrella was in position, and as he got upon the receiver who was already sort of prone on the ground, he gave a little push to maintain his own balance and try to intercept it. It will be called interference, and I can't argue the call, Jim. And now you're in a position where did they spot it? On the 1, or is it a half the distance? It'll be a first down. And is the run back in play? We'll see.
So first and goal, big penalty against the Bulldogs. And they mark it down around the 2.
Yeah, it was just an awkward type of thing. The ball was coming up rather short to a receiver prone, but he still might have been able to scoop it.
Carlick is the running back to the left of Wilson from the 2. Carlick the call, up the middle, looking for the end zone. No, it's Wilson on the fake off the left side, and Austin Wilson in for the score. Great ball fake by the senior quarterback, Austin Wilson. Faking to Carlick, keeping it outside left, getting in from the 2-yard line. The Cougars within an extra point of the tie.
Wonderful fake. I followed the dive up inside thinking, they have him stopped at the 1. But then he doesn't have the ball. The quarterback's going wide. He's going to have the advantage on one-on-one tacklers because he can go inside or outside, spin. He knows what he wants to do. He went inside the potential tackle and stands up as he goes in for the score.
Here's the extra point attempt from Jack Mariano. Riley Van Gilst will hold. Trying to tie it. Long count. Snap. Placement. Kick is low. Kick is just through off the right side. A low line drive kick gets through to tie it. 21 seconds remaining. Opening half. Berwick 7. Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Are your appliances feeling a little bit outdated? You looking for the best deals in town? Well, look no further than Flick Brothers Electric, your go-to family-owned appliance paradise. Flick Brothers Electric has all the top-notch name-brand appliances you could ever dream of. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwave stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air conditioner heat pump units. Flick Brothers Electric on Maple Lane, keeping Bloomsburg cool, clean, and cooking for over 65 years. Call them at 570-784-3444.
W234BH West Hazleton at 94.7, WBWX W242CY Berwick at 96.3, W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3, and W288CF Danville at 105.5. Your home for Berwick Bulldogs football is Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains media station. WHLM Bloomsburg.
10-play, 56-yard drive by Hazleton area, capped on a 2-yard touchdown run by Austin Wilson, his second rushing touchdown of the season. The extra point barely getting through by Jack Mariano, and we are tied at 7. 21 seconds remaining in the opening half.
I had the binoculars on the kick, and I thought, no way, it's going to be short and off to the right. But an official stands under each goalpost. They can see that it did clear.
Mariano's kick is a low line drive headed toward the sidelines on the far side. Will go out of bounds. So Berwick will have good field position, but just 21 seconds left. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. And they will get the football to start the second half. So I don't look for anything exotic from the Bulldogs.
No. As a coach, my mindset would be, let's go in safe with the score tied. I think you take too many risks in this position. You risk Hazleton getting a turnover and scoring. So I'd play this rather close to the vest. But George Curry wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
So let's see how the Bulldogs play it from their own 35-yard line after the penalty as the kick went out of bounds. Aiden George is in there as a fullback in the eye. Give it to Galusha as a flag flies down on the play. Gavin will get a yard. We'll check the flag. 15 seconds to go in the half.
It doesn't really matter much either way. If it's a hold against Berwick, you move it back and you probably just take the knee. Goes the other way, you're just a little closer, but you're still not at midfield. Talking and not walking. And they're not walking. Was there a flag? Now Berwick seems to be moving its huddle back.
Yeah. It's a substitution penalty against the Bulldogs.
I wonder if people were just too far off the sideline, Jim.
It's a big, big penalty, and I'm thinking Berwick may have run that play with 12. I think that's the only way that could be 15 yards.
And C.J. Curry's out there with the headset pointing to the sidelines like, look, he was here, we weren't there, and wants an excuse, but they're not going to wipe it away.
So Ashton Smith will come on, I think, to take a knee. As Berwick back at the 20-yard line. First and 25, 15 seconds remaining.
I was a little surprised to see Billy Hansen in on the previous play, taking the snap from under center. It's just one more risk I don't want to have with a quarterback who hasn't taken those snaps regularly from the center.
So, from the 20, Smith will take that knee. Hazleton area has no timeouts, and that will end the first half of play with the score. Berwick 7, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Escape the ordinary this fall. Navigate the unpaved roads in a Mazda CX-50 with as low as 0.9% financing for 60 months or 1.9% for 72 months at W&L Mazda. Maneuver through the city streets in a nimble Mazda CX-30 with low financing rates or up to $1,000 customer cash. Find your Mazda at W&L, off Route 11 in Northumberland, online at WNLMazda.com or at the Bloomsburg Fair.
Financing available to well-qualified applicants only. Offer cannot be combined with any other discounts or incentives other than loyalty or military offers. Offer ends 9/3/24. See W&L Mazda for complete offer details.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
Experience the difference at Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships. For over 40 years, Blaze Alexander has been Central PA's top choice for unbeatable prices. With 20 locations and 11 brands, we have what you want at a price you deserve. Over 4,000 new and pre-owned vehicles available. Why go anywhere else? Stop and shop or check us out online at blazealexander.com. Sales, service, parts, collision.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
It's time for the Berwick Bulldogs halftime show on Pop Radio. Brought to you by W&L Subaru, Nissan, and Mazda. Discover the W&L difference today.
Halftime from Crispin Field in Berwick. Good first half of football. A lot of offense, although not a lot of scoring. We're tied. Hazleton area 7 and Berwick 7. I'll go through the scoring shortly, but I want to tell you about a great opportunity for Berwick fans to both support the Berwick Booster Club, the Champions Club, at the same time give yourself an opportunity to win some wonderful prizes. You may recall a couple of years ago, the artist Vincent Z. Wood did a wonderful painting of late coach George Curry. It was all part of the street close to Crispin Field to our left being renamed the Curry Way. Well, now there are 5 ways to win a copy of that painting through raffles. The first prize will be a limited edition signed and numbered gallery wrap 22 by 33 inch canvas print. Second prize, a beautifully matted, framed and signed 13 by 19 paper print. And third through fifth prizes, a signed 13 by 19 high quality paper print. So those are the prizes available, and they are wonderful prizes. So get in. Tickets will be sold by the Championship Club. They have a table near every gate inside Crispin Field. Also, there will be some tickets, raffle tickets available at different businesses in the town of Berwick, and we'll have a list of those very, very shortly. But please buy your tickets and have a chance at those raffles. I misplaced the sheet that has the cost, but the cost is minimum, and here it is. The Curry Way raffle tickets are $5 each. They are 3 for $10, 8 for $20, and the 5 winners will be drawn October 25th in the Bulldogs' final regular season game here against Tunkhannock at Crispin Field. Well, as I mentioned, we are tied at 7 at the half. Hazleton area had a chance early. They had a 4th down and 9 from the Berwick 41-yard line. But the Berwick defense, which has been very, very aggressive this opening half, came through, and Gavin Galusha sacked Hazleton area quarterback Austin Wilson at midfield. Berwick was 3 and out on their first possession, but on their second possession, Billy Hansen, a wide receiver by trade, who has been given the start at quarterback tonight with a brilliant run. It was designed to go right, nothing there. He shifted to the left, a 30-yard run altogether that set up the Bulldogs 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of the Cougars. But 3 straight tackles for loss, and there was no scoring through 1 quarter play. In the second quarter, Berwick put together a terrific drive. 8 plays, 87 yards. Along the way, an 11-yard run by Hansen. And when they reached the Hazleton area 39-yard line, sophomore Gavin Galusha off the right side broke 3, went the distance, 39-yard score. Not only did it give Berwick a lead, but it ended a drought of 12 consecutive quarters in which the Bulldogs had not scored an offensive point. Caleb Yost followed the run by Galusha with the extra point. Berwick led 7-0. But Hazleton area came through late that half. A 10-play, 56-yard drive, capped on a 2-yard touchdown run off the left side after a great ball fake by quarterback Austin Wilson. That came with just 21 seconds to go. One of the big plays of that 10-play drive, a 16-yard pass from Wilson to Johansson Moran, his favorite receiver. Jack Mariano's kick was low and off to the right, but just got in there. And we go in at halftime with the score. Berwick 7 and Hazleton area 7. Stay with us. Later on, we'll check in with Ashlyn Walshaw and scores of other games. We'll check in with Andy Lickney with the stats from the opening half. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Visit your Bloomsburg State Farm agent, Sean Black, at insurebloomsburg.com.
The all-new Willows Golf Course and Events venue in Berwick is making strides this fall. They'll be taking reservations at the end of the year for any of the 3 fully renovated event rooms with their own new delectable menu options, bar offerings, and comfortable room accommodations. Check out their Facebook page for updates and information on how to book your next corporate event or special day at the Willows Golf Course and Event venue in Berwick. The Willows is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
For over 50 years, you've trusted Overhead Door to provide the finest quality residential and commercial garage door products, installation, and service. With winter right around the corner, your garage doors need a tune-up. For only $99 for one or $125 for multiple doors, they'll check, lube, and adjust your garage doors and openers so they operate smoothly. Call for their seasonal tune-up special, Overhead Door of Berwick. They're more than just doors. See their 5-star rating on their Google business page or visit ohdberwick.com.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Halftime from Crispin Field. The crowd being entertained by the Hazleton area marching band. Berwick 7, Hazleton area 7. Andy, dead even on the scoreboard. How about the stat sheet?
Yeah, pretty even here on the stat sheet. I look at total yardage for each team. Hazleton has 90 total yards of offense. Berwick has 99, so they have a little bit of an edge. Different in the way they've split it. Berwick's played great defense against the run on 15 carries. Hazleton has just 34 net yards. That's, barely 2 yards a carry. But they are 6 of 13 passing for 56 yards in the air, 34 on the ground, 56 in the air for their 90. Berwick split. All 99 of their yards is on the ground. 0 for 3 passing, 1 interception that was as good as a punt. And that's really not the game plan to get the yards passing in this one. And it's working so far for Berwick. Let's look at Hazleton. On the ground, 40 positive yards. Under Johnson didn't touch the ball till late in the second half. 3 carries for 15 yards for him. Ashton Carlick did most of the ball carrying, 25 yards on 6 carries. And then you go to Austin Wilson. Some positive running, some sacks, some caught in the backfield, some no gains in the line of scrimmage. So he's at 6 for -6. Take the 6 away from the 40 positive, 34 yards rushing on 15 carries. Austin Wilson passing 6 of 13, no interceptions, but just 56 yards. Johansson Moran, game is advertised. He's 6'2", and they like throwing to him. Caleb May is really doing a good job in defending, knocking a lot of the passes away that are coming his way. But he still has 4 catches on the half for 37 yards. Hunter Johnson, again, he came alive toward the end of the second quarter. 14 yards on a screen pass, beautiful play. And then Carlos Gonzalez caught a 5-yarder. Looked like he was going to turn it upfield for the sticks. But Ty Wilkerson really shut him down short there. 56 in the air for Hazleton. 56 in the air for Hazleton. 34 on the ground, a total of 90 yards here at halftime. Berwick counters with 99, all on the ground. The quarterbacks are 0 for 3, 1 interception, no yards. And again, the interception, a superfluous stat. They'd have punted it away if they didn't throw that interception. So a desperation pass. On the ground, Gavin Galusha's looked strong when he got the carries. Wasn't part of the game plan until the second quarter, and then he burst for a long touchdown. In all, 5 carries, 56 yards for Gavin Galusha. Caleb May, a 4-yard tote. Ty Wilkerson lost 3 on his jet sweep. The team took a kneel down for -1. And then at quarterback, Billy Hansen, we expected him to run, and he's run well. A lot of good improv running, not the runs called in the huddle. Those have been shut down. But he counters, goes back against the grain, and in all on the half, 6 carries for 42 yards for quarterback Billy Hansen. 13 carries for Berwick in all, 99 yards. No passing yardage, so it's Berwick's 99 yards to the total of 90 for Hazleton here at halftime, Jim.
Tied at 7. We'll check other scores from around the area with Ashlyn Walshaw when we return. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC. Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Are you in the market for a new set of wheels? Once you find it, whether it's a functional grocery getter or a midlife crisis hot rod, the tag and title experts at Berwick Notary in Berwick are open 6 days a week, so you can be rest assured you'll be on the road and legal in no time. Berwick Notary can transfer a title, register an ATV or any kind of vehicle, and they're the only notary in Columbia County that registers boats. Berwick Notary's been serving the Bulldog community for over 40 years, and they proudly support the Berwick Bulldogs. Check out their Facebook page, and go Dogs!
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Both teams have made their appearance on the field. We're a couple of minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half. Berwick 7, Hazleton Area 7. For an update on other scores, let's go to Ashlyn Walshaw.
Thanks, Jim. Mount Carmel leads Southern Columbia 7-0 at the half. Old Forge leads Hanover Area 9-7 in the second. Danville leads Central Columbia 33-0 at the half. Where am I at? Okay. Bloomsburg leads Warrior Run 14-9 at the half. Western Wayne leads Crestwood 14-0 in the first. Wilkes-Barre Area is tied 14-14 with Dallas in the third. Lackawanna Trail leads Dunmore 21-7 in the third. Lewisburg leads Hughesville 26-20 at half. Riverside leads Lake Lehman 28-6 in the third. Loyalsock leads Midwest 41-0 at the half. Honesdale leads Mid-Valley 7-6 at the half. Mifflinburg and Montoursville are tied 13-13 at the half. South Williamsport leads Milton 14-0 at the half. Tunkhannock leads Nanticoke 12-8 at the half. Pittston Area leads Wyoming Valley West 34-7 at the half. Selinsgrove leads Central Mountain 27-7 in the second. Jersey Shore leads Shamokin 20-14 at the half. Shikellamy and Williamsport are currently still tied 0-0 in the second. And Wyoming Area leads Lakeland 42-0 at the half. Now back to Crispin Field with Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney.
Okay, thank you very much, Ashlyn. Here it is Berwick 7 and Hazleton Area 7. Andy, going in the second half will be interesting because now Hazleton Area knows who's doing most of the quarterbacking for Berwick. And they also know that they're probably not going to pass very much, if at all. Is that a big advantage for them going in the second half?
Well, you can't cheat your corners and your safety up to play more like linebacker, but it doesn't mean Berwick won't adjust their game and try some passes. Now, Billy Hansen showed a strong arm on the one he did throw, and yeah, you get people cheating up, you go a little play action, and with the speed, guys like Bankus or Caleb May, they're going to beat people deep downfield, and then it's lofted up and let them run under it. So I don't know if you can get too cutesy by cheating that secondary up. You might have them more aware of the run, the thing is, the run that's been hurting them hasn't been necessarily all the designed runs. It's when Billy Hansen takes it, starts one way, sees that it's closed off, and then goes the other way, reverses completely, or cuts back against the grain up in the middle. That's where he's been most effective. And, you know, there's no game planning that outside of hold your own area. That's kind of frustrating when people stop the design play and then you hurt them with the improv play. And Gavin Galusha looks to be getting stronger with each carry. So we'll see how Berwick game plans the rest of their offense, if they change much, or if they stay with the strategy that's been working.
You know, I think there's a lot to be said for both teams feeling good about themselves at halftime. Berwick broke the snide of that 12 quarters in a row without scoring an offensive touchdown, and did it with a terrific drive. Hazleton area scored late. Usually that's a momentum thing going into halftime. So we are dead even, and both teams thinking this is theirs.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Berwick's got to get beyond we broke the schneid, we can't score. I think they got to start feeling that's the norm. We're going to score. And by the type of offense they can run, the type of plays and their personnel, I think they should feel good about that. And I think Hazleton found a nice little rhythm along the way. You know, they brought back one of their key running backs, and Hunter Johnson, who they were hesitant to let him touch the ball in the first quarter. And when they did give him the touches, he certainly paid dividends for them. And then when they got some of that running going, Austin Wilson looked more effective passing. And again, that real tough receiver in Johansel Moran, while Caleb May's playing him tough, it's going to be a battle every time they throw him the ball.
Caleb May and Sean Bankus deep for Berwick. Bulldogs will be moving from our right to our left as we view things here in the third quarter, as Jack Mariano will kick off for the Cougars. Berwick 7, Hazleton area 7 in a second half that is just underway. The kick comes up short, fielded at the 20-yard line. Galusha on the return is brought down hard at about the 28-yard line.
Oh, real nice tackle in there by number 33, Connor Bacon. He's a junior. Got in there, got him around the numbers, and just spun him down like steer wrestling to the ground.
So we'll see how Berwick plays it on their first possession of the second half. We'll see what, if any, adjustments the Cougars have made to this Berwick offense. It will be Ashton Smith taking the first snap for Berwick in the second half. Billy Hansen, who quarterbacked most of the first half, is the lone wide receiver to the right. And Smith gives to Galusha, looking for some running room off the right. There's not much there. He'll get a yard, maybe two on the play.
Standard isolation play. You're running behind the fullback in the B gap on the right side. Going right at Hazleton, and Hazleton came right at Berwick. Stuffed it up. There'll be about a 2-yard gain on that.
2nd and 8, Bulldogs at their 31-yard line. Just underway here in the second half. Gavin Jones, the center, back from an injury. Ready to snap the ball to Ashton Smith. I formation behind Ashton. Galusha again, this time some running room. Breaks into the secondary. Gets the first down up to the 42-yard line.
Nice run. He started off to the left, and he was going behind a trap block as Chase Shuckers was coming out. But he saw he can cut it inside behind Chase Shuckers, get a little back against the grain action, and he found a nice seam to move the chains.
10-yard run for Gavin Galusha. First down, Berwick at their own 41-yard line. Again, Hansen is the lone receiver to the left, and all kinds of movement on the offensive front for the Bulldogs.
And the huddle, you call the cadence. Sometimes it's on 1, sometimes it's on 3. That time 3 people moved early, so apparently a cadence they weren't expecting or weren't used to, and they went on the automatic first sound. That'll stymie the drive a little bit. You'll have to make that up.
And when you're going almost exclusively to the run,
yeah,
those are big penalties. 1st and 15. Bulldogs back at their 36. Again, the I formation. Smith under center. Gives the ball to Galusha off the right side of the 40, 45. Down the right sideline. Still on his feet inside the 40. And finally knocked down near the 30-yard line. Gavin Galusha with a monster run and Berwick in business.
And Spinella, Jim, they're short on the right side. They didn't even have a tight end, but they attacked it between the guard and tackle. And Galusha found that seam, and before you know it, he's past the linebackers in the secondary. Xavier Heck kind of grabs and hangs on 20 yards into the run. He eventually shakes away from that before Carlos Gonzalez has to push him out of bounds.
32 yards on the carry. Berwick, 1st and 10 at the Cougar 32-yard line. Again, the I formation. This time they go straight ahead to the fullback, Aiden George, and he'll get a couple to the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
I think you want to give Gavin Galusha a little bit of a break. He has 100 yards now, Jim, with that last carry. Puts him right at the round number of 100. Let him catch his breath.
Had a total of 120 through the first 3 games of this season. So he's coming through tonight, 2nd and 7. Berwick moving from our right to our left in the third quarter. They have it at the Hazleton area 29-yard line. Again, the I formation. Power football. Galusha again off the left side. This time the Cougars are up to the task. And it'll be just a yard or two. So 3rd down play coming as Ashton Smith trots to the sideline to get the play call from C.J. Curry.
Yeah, passing situation with 3rd and about 6 to go. Ball is nearer to the right hash, so he can roll out to his left. Depends if that's the direction they go.
Still not a play where you have to throw the ball if it's 4-down territory, which I believe it is.
Yeah, so you can go with 2 runs, and they've been reliant upon the run throughout the game. Not a completed pass yet.
Aiden George is the fullback, ahead of Galusha in the I formation. 3rd down call, play action. Smith back to throw, fires, has a man, a completion to Gabe Decker, and Decker down to the 13-yard line for a 1st down. Nice patience by Smith. He really looked that one over and then found that very talented 9th grader, a tight end, open for a big play to the 13, 15 yards on the reception.
I talked with Dave Robbins before the game. I said, hey, when it comes to crunch time, you need that big play. Don't forget about Gabe Decker. Boy, they certainly didn't there.
1st and 10 Berwick at the 13-yard line of the Cougars, and again movement up front, and again Berwick will make it tough on themselves.
They're trying to be smart and alter the cadence so that Hazleton's not teeing off on 1st sound. But Berwick themselves isn't showing the discipline required. They're going on 1st sound even though the ball's not being snapped.
1st and 15 Bulldogs at the Cougar 18.
1st and 15 from the 18-yard line.
Again, the I formation. Decker, a blocking back to the left. Call goes to Galusha off the right side. Gavin Galusha will get to the 14, I believe. Picks up about 4 in the play. 2nd and long coming.
I like Aiden George at fullback. Again, they seem to be a short side without a tight end. And Aiden George then attacks the defensive end, makes that block, and opens up the seam inside of him for Gavin Galusha to burst through. He'll make up the penalty yardage.
2nd and 11. Berwick at the Cougar 14-yard line. Galusha again tries the right side, cut down as he gets to about the 10. Picked up about 4 on the play.
Again, you can really see the blocking down, and he noticed that he can cut it to the inside, even though it was designed to go to left of center. But the unblocked defensive end, who's just kind of sitting there, was able to come down and eventually finish off with the tackle.
They mark it at the 11, so just a gain of 3. Here is a 3rd down and 8, Berwick at the Hazleton area 11. Galusha again, the tailback of the eye, fake to him. Smith back to throw. He's got a man on the far side and throws it into the turf. Had a man open at the 15-yard line. And some substituting, maybe a field goal attempt coming on. Caleb Yost, the place kicker, is on the field.
Yeah, I think that's the way to play this, Jim. You have a tied game, you got in close. Looked like the screen was going to be there, but he just couldn't get the pass out. Had to throw around the man, a little sideways action, and it bounced to the receiver.
Boy, that penalty really hurt.
Yeah.
The hold will be at the 18. So this is a 28-yard field goal attempt for first in the career of Caleb Yost, a ninth grader. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Caleb Yost from 28 yards out with exactly 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Berwick 10, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Quite a week for Caleb Yost, the ninth grader. He plays on the soccer team. He had 2 goals and a win over Hanover area. And now his first field goal attempt is good from 28 yards out, capping a 9-play drive for Berwick off the second half kickoff. And the Bulldogs lead this one 10-7 with 7 minutes remaining in the third.
And he did it the hard way. There's a good bit of pressure coming straight up the middle. Hazleton had the arms up. I thought they had the good chance for the block. But the freshman stayed calm, able to kick it on through. Big points.
Carlos Gonzalez, who had a great return to open this game, along with Riley Van Gilst deep, as Logan Robinson will kick off for the Bulldogs. They lead for the second time in this game. It's the kick. It's a line drive kick. Van Gilst at the 25, the 30, and is wrestled down by Rocco Romeo in the open field at about the 38-yard line.
They held their lanes, Jim. They've struggled with kick return coverage. Rocco Romeo coming down the hash here on the near side would not give the ground. Carlos had nowhere to run but into him, and he gets rolled on down to the ground.
So the Cougars take over 1st and 10. They mark it at the Hazleton area 37-yard line. 6:55 to go in the third. And Berwick leading this one by a score of 10-7. As Johansson Moran wide to the right. Caleb May on him. That's been a fun matchup to watch all night long. Wilson out of the gun. Has the snap. Rolls to his right. Keeps the football. Rocco Romeo brings him down as he picks up 3 to the 40-yard line. Romeo came into the game as the leading tackler of the season for the Bulldogs. 13 tackles coming into this game, including 2 tackles for loss.
Yeah, he's looked good. Quarterback was pretty much in his student body action. He had 3 blockers in front of him, but they're catching people in the secondary. Rocco Romeo sliding over from the inside linebacker position. Gets in that lane where the quarterback wants to turn it upfield. 2nd and 7. Hazleton area at their own 40-yard line. Slot to the left. 2 running backs to the left of Wilson. Here comes the blitz from the backside, and Caleb May has it. And the ball is loose, and the scramble's on. And Berwick appears to have the football down around the 24-yard line. Flag down well after the play. The play will stand. Gabe Decker eventually recovered. Caleb May came from his cornerback position, cheated up to like a defensive end, and got all popped loose as they were. It'll be Berwick's first down at the point of the recovery. So a big play by Caleb May, and he made up an unbelievable amount of yardage coming from that far side. He's a tremendously skilled athlete, Jim. He has the speed to stay with the great receivers, the instincts and coverage, and there on a corner.
But Wilson was going away from Caleb May. Big play by him. Big play by Decker. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Hazleton area 24. 6:02 to go in the third. The Bulldogs with an opportunity to add to a 10-7 lead. Four-yard line. Down the play. Berwick seems to think it's against the Cougars.
Yeah, Berwick was getting back into its huddle when the flag came out, so someone in Hazleton must have punched or pushed or said something. So we'll see after that run, which extended nicely for about 5, and they're going to add the penalty yardage to that, whether it's half the distance or all 15. Looks like half the distance. Big play. Berwick has stacked 2 backs on the left side and said, hey, we're coming right at you. We're running behind the power of our offensive line and the power of our H-backs. Try to stop it. And Galusha bursts through there very, very well. And Hazleton, in frustration, takes a penalty call after that.
And Galusha comes off limping. It may be a cramp. We'll see. Caleb May has replaced him. 1st and goal, Berwick at the 10. 2 blocking backs to the left, Romeo and George. Caleb May, a fake to him. Billy Hansen rolls out right, cuts it in, flags all over the place as he gets down to the 5-yard line. This one may come back.
Yeah, I think you get a holding. The design play was to fake the handoff and then bootleg Billy Hansen off the right side with no blockers. Someone on the inside grabbed a hold of a man to help Billy Hansen, and that'll move Berwick back. Now, the problem is your down and distance gets, a little choppy here after a penalty on 1st and 10 as you're approaching the goal.
And Galusha trots back on. The ball back at the 20-yard line, so it's a 1st and goal, but it's at the 20 with the penalty.
Might be room for a first down. They still have the chains up, Jim, so it might be where you can get to the 1-yard line, but in essence, you're thinking 1st and goal. I think you might, after the penalty, think of another field goal, play it safe.
Blocking backs to the left, Aiden George and Rocco Romeo. Lone running back, Gavin Galusha from the 20. Give to Galusha off the left side, breaks free and gets inside the 15, down around the 13-yard line.
He runs tough, Jim. The blocking didn't do much. Hazleton filtered through all of that interference. But Galusha sees the seam here, gives a push there, knifes in a little further, and, cuts that distance down.
6 yards of the carry by Gavin Galusha as we go under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Berwick looking for their first win of the season. Berwick looking for the initial win of the career of head coach C.J. Curry, leading Hazleton area 10-7. Bulldogs looking for more. Now, Billy Hansen under center. Blocking back still to the left. Galusha still the lone running back. Long count. Hazleton jumps across. Will make things a little easier for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, finally. When they've gone hard count, Berwick themselves have jumped on the last 2 instances and hurt their down and distance. Now Billy Hansen going underneath the center for a direct snap. Marks that first sound, and he pulls Hazleton off.
3rd down for Berwick from the 9-yard line.
Says 2nd on the chain, Jim.
Okay, with the penalty, blocking backs to the left. The call goes to Galusha. He is wrapped up after little or no gain. That's a good defensive play.
Jeremy Ackerman came in from just crashed in his gap. Was able to meet Galusha for very little gain.
It's the ball at the 7-yard line where it's 3rd down coming. Again, Bulldogs got a 28-yard field goal from Caleb Yost in this quarter, but they'd love 7 here. The clock goes down to 3:47 remaining in the third.
I think you're going to roll out your quarterback Hansen, give him a run-pass option, Jim. Try to slide someone like Decker into the end zone, make them cover Decker and the quarterback run. Let's see.
Under center, Billy Hansen. Fake to Galusha. Hansen keeps it off the left side, inside the 5, and Billy Hansen down to the 3-yard line. And a flag down again. Holding against Berwick.
And that hurts. They were down where a power run may not have got the goal line, but it may have got the first down in about the 1-yard line.
And
now with the hold, you're going to go back.
I think you would have gone for it there.
Yeah.
And at worst, Hazleton area has the ball deep in their own territory. So another costly penalty against Berwick on this possession. They got the big defensive play from Caleb May and took over at the 24 and got to the 10 with a 1st and goal. Now it's back at the 18-yard line with a 3rd down.
It's on the left hash. So if we're seeing Billy Hansen at quarterback, watch him use his legs going to the right. And again, I think with the run-pass option. Last time it was all designed run. See how they call it this time.
3rd down from the 18. And Hansen under center, no running backs. 2 receivers to either side. Hansen has the snap, and he's back to throw, and he's looking, he's rolling right. He's going to keep the football, and he's going to be brought down about the 14-yard line. And Berwick will bring that field goal unit on. They wanted more than that.
They did want more than that, but they're not getting it. Berwick player down at the point of the tackle, Jim. Have to see who this is. If it's Hansen who was tackled, that's going to be a severe loss for Berwick. On the field goal, he wouldn't be part of it. I'm looking for the number 0 in the huddle. And they're stretching the toe back to the knee, not the way you'd normally do a calf muscle tightening up or a hamstring, but you could be working on the quads if that's the case. So there'll be a stoppage here. Hazleton's huddled pretty close to the fallen player, while Berwick's come on over here to talk to its coaches.
First of 2 consecutive home games for the Bulldogs. The Hawkeyes of Hanover area will be here next week. By the way, Andy, the first meeting between Berwick and Hanover area since 1949.
I wasn't
you remember
at
that game?
Yeah. No, not 49. What's the Hanover mascot?
Hawkeyes.
Hawkeyes? And their colors?
Well, now you're going too far.
I thought you knew everything, buddy. A little longer stoppage, but if I'm the coach and I have a player with a tight muscle, I'd want him to heal on the field as much as possible. I'm anticipating that it's not a severe injury. By the way, they were stretching his toe back. He's lying prone, and they stretched it back toward his hamstring. So I don't think it's a twisted knee or a twisted ankle or anything like that.
I think the line of scrimmage is the 14. This will be a little longer field goal for Caleb Yost.
Yeah, you would have liked to have gotten closer, and I think that chance of going for the touchdown would have been in order. But from out here, the chance of getting the end zone isn't all that good. And while 3 points only would make it 13-7, and a touchdown still can beat you, you'll still take the points to keep Hazleton away from tying things with a field goal.
Boy, in that previous field goal, Andy, I'm with you. Hazleton area got great penetration, and I thought for sure it was going to be blocked.
I thought it was.
And Yost did a great job keeping his composure in his first field goal attempt.
It is Billy Hansen, Jim, and he's not putting any weight on his left leg. I don't think we're going to see any more of Billy Hansen in this game. So with 2:25 to play here in this quarter, it's probably going to be up to Ashton Smith. Jake Lisnock got injured during the week. He's not even dressed, so I don't know who the next quarterback in line would be.
So the line of scrimmage, the 14-yard line. We anticipate a field goal attempt coming from the 9th grader Caleb Yost. as they take Billy Hansen to the sideline down below us.
Going to be at a pretty sharp angle too, Jim. The sweep went to the right side, so it's going to be placed on the right hash. Now, kickers work from every hash, and he has the leg for it. Berwick needs to improve its blocking.
Aiden George with the snap. Ashton Smith with the important hold. From the 20, 30-yard field goal attempt comes up way short. So Berwick had a first and goal at the 10. They come away with nothing, but they do have the lead. 2:10 to go in the third. Berwick 10, Hazleton area 7.
Through the course of the year, when people ask me, how come Berwick's not winning? I said, they move the ball and then they'll just make a mistake. There'll be a penalty, or they'll move the ball and then there'll be an interception. You have to eliminate those type of miscues. You need that clean football. Had they not had the miscues here, the flags, they probably would have scored a touchdown. As it is now, they're defending a 3-point lead.
Billy Hansen has gone to the locker room. Taking his place at the corner position is Sean Bankus. Hazleton area, 1st and 10 at their 20. 2:10 to go in the third. They move from our left to a right. After a shift, Peralta and Johnson on the left. Wilson takes the snap. He's going to run it to the left behind those blockers. He turns the corner. He has some running room. He's got the first down and then some. He's over midfield. He's down the sideline. Austin Wilson at the 10, and he's in for a Hazleton area touchdown. What an unbelievable turnaround this game. Berwick first and goal at the 10. A chance to go up 2 scores. They don't make it. The field goal's no good. And Wilson goes the distance, 80 yards for the score.
They had shown an overload with their receivers and then having the quarterback run almost a student body action in that direction using the blockers. The blockers created enough interference for him to get to the sideline. They're running the side where the corner is the replacement corner. Not quite ready to hit. He tried to run it down, but just didn't have the speed to catch Austin Wilson with any kind of an angle.
Mariano will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Van Gilst. Trying to make this a 4-point Cougar lead. Berwick jumped across. Let's see if Hazleton area changes strategy.
We'll see. Right now, 13-10. Berwick could tie with a field goal. If it's an automatic with the kick, then you kick it. If you don't feel it's automatic, then you'd go for 2.
Boy, it didn't look like automatic the first time he kicked it.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Van Gils will hold. Zapataki does the short snapping. Low snap. Kick is way off to the left. So the extra point attempt failed. 1:56 to go in the third. Hazleton area 13, Berwick 10. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
This is Berwick football coach C.J. Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
We have a good one going tonight from Crispin Field. 1:56 remaining in the third. Hazleton area has their first lead of the night. An 80-yard touchdown run by quarterback Austin Wilson. And he's got some speed.
He does have speed, Jim. I'm watching Sean Bankus trying to get an angle on or trying to catch him. He's tight-roping the sideline for about 70 yards of the run. Now, it's the far side from us, so we can't see. I kept looking to see if they'd drop a hat where he went out of bounds, but they did not. Berwick, again, needs to get a little bit more physical on such plays. You got to go through the blockers. You got to throw blockers into the quarterback. In some way, get him out of bounds. And Berwick now handicapped with the loss of Billy Hansen, who's quarterbacked the majority of the snaps in this game and given them an offensive spark.
So the kickoff by Mariano, Caleb May, Sean Bankus deep. for the Bulldogs. Mariano's kick will go towards May. Takes it on the short hop at about the 11. And he is going to be buried as flag flies. He's inside the 10-yard line. Tremendous coverage downfield by the Cougars.
Or lack of blocking. I mean, Berwick has 10 men in front of him, and yet 5 men sift through to the 10-yard line to bring him down where he has nowhere to go.
There is a face mask, though, against the Cougars, and it'll be the long walk-off, so Berwick will get much better field position. They'll open this one at the 29-yard line.
And we'd rather win it with better football rather than the flag by their mistake. You won't turn it away, but it's going to be up to Ashton Smith now to see what he can do. Gavin Galusha came up lame a couple plays ago, but we've seen him back in. Will we see a little bit more passing now?
Berwick at their own 24-yard line is where the line of scrimmage is. As Smith comes on. Galusha will be the lone running back deep in the backfield. Smith will operate under center with 2 blocking backs behind the line of scrimmage to the left. Give to Galusha, looking for some running room, and not much there. Brought down about the 25, just a yard, 2nd and 9 coming.
Yeah, he's not comfortable going to the point of attack. They have 2 blocking backs behind the left tackle. And yet when he angles in that direction, he's quickly planning and cutting back to the inside because there's just not enough push. You'd like the play to go as designed. Sometimes the cutback will work well for you, but Hazleton holding their ground in the opposite seams.
2nd and 9, Bulldogs at their 25. Smith gives the ball, and there will be a big loss in the play. Back inside the 20-yard line. Hazleton area now really teeing off. Hanson's not in there. They don't think Berwick's going to throw the football, and they're just teeing off a loss of 4, 3rd and 13.
Yeah, and that was Berwick's version of the counter tray using the H-backs. They stacked to the right side behind the right tackle, and on the snap came to the left. But at that point of attack, there's nothing there, and people sifting through behind those 2 pulling H-backs. And Galusha caught for about a 6-yard loss.
Now you really have to be careful. You don't want a turnover here. 3rd and 13, there are no wide receivers in this formation. Play action. Smith back to throw. Nothing there. Rolls left. Rolls right. Gets a good block. Stops. Throws over the middle. And interception. Returning it is Heck, and he'll go in for a touchdown. Well, I mentioned that was going to be the problem. You cannot have the turnover in that play.
No, and it's one of those where the play's not there. He looked downfield, things didn't open. He looked to a secondary receiver, it's still not open. Scrambles a little to his left, throws in desperation. That super frosh Xavier Heck in position, takes it away and takes it in for the score.
So this one could really get away from the Bulldogs now with Hanson out of there. 2nd interception return for a touchdown against Ashton Smith on the season. Mariano will attempt the extra point. He's 1 for 2. This one is up, and this one is good. Timeout in the field, 11 seconds to go in the 3rd. Hazleton area, 20. Berwick, 10. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
11 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. A game that had such promise for Berwick has gotten away. They trail Hazleton area 20-10, and it's hard to envision Bulldogs putting a couple of scores together to get back in this one. as Ashton Smith's pass was intercepted, returned by a very, very talented freshman safety, Xavier Heck, for the Cougars. 20-10 Bulldogs. And can they get any offense going with Billy Hansen, who had given his team a spark tonight, out of the game with an injury?
Kick return would be good, but there were 5 men down on the guy last time.
This time a low line drive kick headed toward the out of bounds, so Berwick will get the good field position without a return. 11 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Hazleton area leading by a score of 20-10.
Hazleton's defense now is keying into the backfield on Gavin Galusha. He has 118 yards on the game, and he's been great. But they're filling all the gaps and playing tough and anticipating run. So what other weapons do you have? You have to go back to Ashton Smith and let him throw. But he's got to be suffering some confidence problems after just throwing the interception for a touchdown.
Berwick at their own 36 is where they mark it. That can't be, can it?
Unless from where it went out of bounds and then you marked it so many yards, would it give you the extra yard?
They'll take it. They'll take anything right now.
Yep.
1st and 10. Berwick at their 36. Probably the final play. And is that Billy Hansen back on the field? Ready to take a snap.
I'd be stunned. It is.
He has it, and he tries the left side and is brought down for a loss at the 35-yard line, but amazing that he is in the game on the final play of the third quarter. With the score, Hazleton area 20 and Berwick 10. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Are your appliances feeling a little bit outdated? You looking for the best deals in town? Well, look no further than Flick Brothers Electric, your go-to family-owned appliance paradise. Flick Brothers Electric has all the top-notch name-brand appliances you could ever dream of. Washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, microwave stoves. They even give free estimates on Fujitsu ductless air conditioner heat pump units. Flick Brothers Electric on Maple Lane, keeping Bloomsburg cool, clean, and cooking for over 65 years. Call them at 570-784-3444.
W234BH West Hazleton at 94.7, WBWX W242CY Berwick at 96.3, W282CO Bloomsburg at 104.3, and W288CF Danville at 105.5. Your home for Berwick Bulldogs football is Pop Radio, a Southern Mountains media station. WHLM Bloomsburg.
3 quarters of the book here at Crespin Field. Big third quarter for Hazleton area. They get 2 monster plays, an 80-yard run by quarterback Austin Wilson, an interception return for a touchdown by their talented 9th grade safety, Xavier Heck, and they lead Berwick 20-10 as the Bulldogs will move from our left to our right in this final period. Good news for them is Billy Hansen was not taken to the sideline to be treated. He was taken to the locker room, and he comes back out there. See if he can work his magic with a slot to the right side. Empty backfield. Hansen back to throw, and then he's going to run it. Nothing there. Tries to make something out of nothing, and he does as he gets out to the 40-yard line.
He'll sneak about 3 out of it. Quarterback draw by design in shotgun, took a step back, tried to draw the secondary and the linebackers into their zones, and then tried to weave his way through the defensive line. But Hazleton, I think, more aware of the potential run.
Flag down on the play. It looks like the Bulldogs are going to hurt themselves again.
A little bit too much of that, Jim. Got to play clean football and evenly matched games, and I think they're kind of evenly matched with Hazleton. But a holding call that stymied the last drive, and now a penalty here. It hurts.
I didn't see the indication, but it was a 15-yard walk-off. And, boy, when you're in a position where you're not going to throw the football, where you're just running, you just can't take a 15-yard penalty.
No.
Again, I didn't see the indication of what it was. So, 3rd down and 21 for Berwick. Remember, the last time they had 3rd and long, they went to the air, and the results were not pretty. Interception return for a touchdown that broke this thing open. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Empty backfield for Hansen. He has the snap, and he's back to throw. Looking, Now he throws over the middle. It's a man wide open, and he drops it. At the 43-yard line, Gabe Decker had it right in his hands, and room to run. Would have been a first down on a 3rd and 21 play. That's the way this season has gone for Berwick.
Yeah, scrambling quarterback, scrambling, chooses not to run, sees Decker in the hole behind the linebackers. Decker's facing him. He throws it to him, but Decker wanted to catch it and spin. He knows he needed about 6-7 more yards for the chains, and just loses the focus and loses the football.
There might not be a more reliable pair of hands on this Berwick team than Gabe Decker's, but they failed him there. Sean Bankus back to punt, standing at his 11. Gets the kick away. Nice kick. Hazleton area didn't have anybody back, and a nice roll, and it's still going down to their 23-yard line. So beautiful kick by Hansen. 52 by Bankus, 52 yards on the punt.
Some people feel you should always have someone back to catch the punt and prevent a roll like that. But I know when I coached, Doyle Dietz told me, you got to catch punts, Andy. You got to catch your punts. And I'm thinking, yeah, but what if you don't catch it and you fumble it? And I think the risk of the fumble would outweigh, a 20-yard bounce in my mind with a 20-10 lead against a Berwick that's, struggling offensively and taking a few too many penalties.
Ty Wilkerson is not in that secondary for Berwick on this first down play. Wilson's going to carry it to the right side as a blocker out in front, tries to turn the corner, does so, and picks up some nice yardage.
He's a good runner. Doesn't mind carrying that ball, doesn't mind being hit. He enjoys the collisions, good sweeping action, good speed. They have not moved the chain yet, and I don't know why. Was there a penalty? Was there just no game?
Yeah, I guess he must have stepped out because it's right at the line of scrimmage.
Surprised, thought he had more than that. He has 77 yards rushing on the game.
Again, Braden Schaefer is at a safety for Ty Wilkerson. I did not see an injury to Wilkerson. 2nd and 10. Hazleton area at their 28. Running play up the middle and a gain of just a couple. Berwick's been pretty good against the run, although the stats won't show that because they will include that 80-yard run by Wilson.
Carlick took that. We haven't seen him carry the ball since earlier in the first half. All of a sudden they decide to go back to him. He had 25 yards on 6 carries and proved to be a very physical runner. Hazleton at this point might want to try to control things on the ground and keep the clock moving and using Carlick a bit more.
3rd down and 7. Berwick needs a stop. Draven Geiger among the people on that front 4 now for the Bulldogs. Here's Wilson out of the gun. Has the snap, back to throw. Berwick coming on a blitz. He beats it, throws it long downfield, over the shoulder catch inside the Berwick 40-yard line. Terrific catch by Carlos Gonzalez and a wonderful throw by Wilson on the run.
Yeah, Alex Estrella had to pick him up from his linebacker position and then try to stay with him. But Gonzalez showed good speed. Hazleton hasn't thrown deep that often in the course of this game. Berwick not anticipating the deep pass, gets beat there.
39 yards on the pass completion to Carlos Gonzalez. So Hazleton area with that lead here in the 4th flips the field. They have a first down at the Bulldog 36.
Can take their time and milk the clock. Expect runs.
Slot to the right side. Wilson out of the gun. Hand off the left side. A gain to about the 31-yard line. It's Hunter Johnson got the call. Skylar Neville on the stop for the Bulldogs. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 at the 32.
And Skylar Neville in that second level, you need to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Able to get the seam with the front blocking for him, and it's an experienced offensive line. They're going to be called upon a lot in these final 9.5 minutes.
2nd down and 5. Cougars at the Bulldog 31-yard line. Senior quarterback Austin Wilson operates from the gun. He's got a slap to the left. His favorite target, Moran, is wide to the left. Berwick showing blitz. And they came across, I believe.
Either they did or they induced movement. We'll have to see. Notice Tyler Wilkerson come running back from the half house, trying to strap his helmet on. Keep an eye if he gets back in the game. Which way is the penalty going to be marched?
Offside against Berwick.
Yep.
Will it be enough for a first down? It's at the 26, very close, just short.
Nope, they're going to move him now, Jim. Yep, just slow with the chains. And again, too many flags of that nature. You know, the flags before the ball is snapped, whether it was offense hurting them, defense hurting. They've had some holding calls. I don't know what the 15-yard penalty was earlier here after the play. Too many flags.
1st and 10. Cougars at the Bulldog 26. Wilson gives the ball to Johnson, and he will lose yardage. Great defensive work by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Chase Shucker's coming on low, Jim. Shot the gap. Oh, run came to that same gap. He took him down right at the knees, chopped him down like it chopped down a tree. Wonderful play.
2nd and 13. Andy, if I ever make the comment like I did in the first half, boy, there's almost no penalties. Please stop.
You did. No, just, you know, you're playing a team you're pretty evenly matched with, a team that, you know, you can take, a team you had a lead on, and then you're giving them 5 here, 5 there, 15 here. You know, the mistakes, it hurts. It hurts too bad.
2nd and 13. Hazleton area at the Berwick 29. Bulldogs showing blitz, play action. Wilson dumps it off. Missed tackle in the open field. And a short gain on the play to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, quarterback rolling, has a back with him who dekes the block and then slides out into the flat. That running back, or I believe it's John Carlos Peralta with his first catch of the game, catches it on the move and then runs nice after that. Alex Estrella came up to make the tackle, but John Carlos made a miss.
3rd down and 9. Cougars at the Bulldog 25. 8-10 remaining in this game. Berwick down 20-10. Really incumbent for that Bulldog defense to come up with a couple of plays here and keep the Cougars off the board and give their offense a chance. Here's Wilson out of the gun. She's been for much of the night. Looking the sideline, and
late timeout, Hazleton.
Cougars will call it. 8-10 remaining, 20-10. Hazleton area, you're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Free checking for you and your business. No strings attached. Sounds perfect, right? First Keystone Community Bank offers free personal and business checking options with free Visa debit card, no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no monthly qualifying requirements. Checking with no gimmicks, just what you need. They'll be celebrating 160 years of serving their communities with 19 full-service locations and convenient digital banking tools 24/7. First Keystone Community Bank. Local banking for the community we all call home. Online at fkc.bank. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Crispin Field in Berwick, home to Bulldogs football since 1929. 8-10 to go in this one. Hazleton area leading Berwick 20-10. Desperation time for the Bulldog defense. They must come up with a couple of stops here as Hazleton area has the ball at the Bulldog 25-yard line. Following their timeout, they'll face a 3rd down and 9.
A timeout where they can think of what play do we want to go with. Ball's on the right hash. I like the mobility of quarterback Austin Wilson. I'd roll him, have him look downfield. If there's a safe pass, throw it. If not, use the legs and get as much as you can. Stay in bounds. Keep the clock moving.
So here we go. 3rd down and 9, Cougars. Moving from our right to our left in this fourth quarter. Wilson out of the gun with a slot to the right. Berwick showing blitz. Runner beats the blitz and gets to the 20-yard line, short of the first down yardage, as Shiloh Escobar makes the stop on Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, but down in distance, 5 yards, and it might be a short 5 that a penalty earns. I think you go for this on 4th down with the 10-point time off the clock if you don't make it.
So, realistically, any chance Berwick has in this game is contingent on a stop here on 4th and 5. Cougars at the Bulldog 20. Johnson to the right of quarterback Austin Wilson. Slot to the left, slot to the right. 4th down call. Wilson back to throw. Fires to the sideline. Incomplete. And Billy Hansen stepped in front of the receiver. Boy, would that have been a big play. As it is, Berwick will get the football with time left. 7:15, trailing 20-10.
He read the receiver while looking through to the quarterback's eyes. He saw Austin Wilson with a 3-step type of drop in the direction of his receiver. Plants the feet, looking in that direction, and he decides, I'm going to step in front and see if I can pick this and then go 70-some yards down that far sideline. Couldn't catch it, although he was in a pretty good position to make a fair attempt at it.
So the Bulldogs take over with 7:15 remaining and their full complement of timeouts remaining, and they trail 20-10. The ball at the Berwick 20. It will be Billy Hansen at the quarterback spot. He's taken most of the snaps. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. From the 20, Hansen back to throw. Sets up a screen to the far side, and the receiver slips down.
Yeah, it was floated out to him, and Galush had to kind of stop, wait, jump up, and then try to regain his balance. And kind of with one foot coming to hold his balance on the ground, the other stepping forward, he goes down to a knee. Hazleton had people in the area. I don't think it was going to materialize, but I like the notion of a screen pass.
1 yard gain to the 21, 2nd down and 9. Clock running with 6:40 remaining in the game. Gabe Decker lines up as a wide receiver, 1 of 3 to the right. Estrella outside of him. 2nd down call. Hansen has the snap, and he's back to throw. And he has time, and he fires over the middle, and a diving attempt by Decker, and it appears that he came up with it at the 28. Say, he hit the drop earlier. That one was much more difficult. He went down and got it for a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, very low, and then I think he turns over on the football. Got up a little gingerly, but back in the huddle.
3rd and 2, and even though Berwick's in their own territory, this is probably 4 down territory. Down 10. From the 32. Make handoff. Hansen keeps it, fighting for the first down yardage, and I think he has it out to the 34.
Yeah, I believe so too. He's elusive, Jim. Fake to Galusha going off to the left. He continued to the right. He saw there were unblocked tacklers in that area, and he cut inside. He's able to twist that body for a first down. We do have a player down.
And Caleb May is stretching it out. This is just a cramp. Very warm on this Friday the 13th here at Crispin Field. Well, one thing you've got to say for Billy Hansen, actually there's a lot of things you can say for him, but he's a gamer.
He is.
We thought he was lost from the game. I was hoping he wasn't going to miss any more time on the season as they took him to the locker room after that injury. And then he comes back, and that play we just witnessed is a tribute to the competitor that he is, because there wasn't a lot of room.
No.
He had to stretch it for that first down.
He makes people miss. It's like schoolyard tag, where you kind of jump back with that Olay type of move and the guy runs by you. He has that type of skill, and that's what kind of earned him that first down.
Caleb May's on his feet, trying to walk it off as he goes to the sideline. So May is on the sideline.
Caleb May returning to the sideline.
Julian Howie is injured, did not dress for this game. Ty Wilkerson is on the sideline. Bulldogs really shorthanded.
They are, and I think what Hazleton is going to be talking to in their defensive huddle on the far side is, cover, but be much more aware of the running quarterback. He's the guy who can burn you.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1st and 10 Berwick at their 33. Hansen with the running back to his right. Hazleton area coming on a blitz. Galusha gets the ball, is hit and dropped. Hansen picks it up, and he is dropped down at the 20-yard line. No chance for Galusha. He was hit hard as soon as he got it, and a huge loss for Berwick.
Yeah, he was hit about 6 yards deep after the handoff. Fortunate for Berwick that Hansen looked back. He was continuing his fake, but he sensed something wrong. Sensed the hit, saw the ball pop out, and bounce another 5 yards back.
2nd and 23, a loss of 13 there for the Bulldogs. Under 5 to play. Hansen rolls right, looking to throw. Nothing there. Then he throws at the last moment. It goes incomplete. 10 for Gavin Galusha.
Yeah, playing it like street ball, and it's what you do with this type of natural athlete, Jim. He's going to roll. He's going to try to run. The run's not there, and it's going to be stopped up. Maybe I can shot put it forward to my receiver 5 yards in front of me, but it falls to the ground.
So it is 3rd down and 23, and Ashton Smith will come on. It looks like Escobar is in their offense as well. Again, the Berwick offense really short-handed with wide receiver injuries. 3 receivers to the right. Smith under center. Galusha's the lone running back. Smith back to throw. Fires it to Estrella. Estrella will get only to the 27-yard line. They'll pick up 7. 4th and long for Berwick. Desperation time. It may be a situation where you go for it. I mean, down 10, 4:25 to go. You cannot give up the ball and have a chance at this one. So as desperate as that is at 4th and 18, I think it's the right call.
Yeah, I think it's what you have to do. And I think the feeling is if you turn it over on downs, Hazleton's probably just going to run the clock out, not making a great effort to pile it on.
3 receivers to the right. Ashton Smith out of the gun. Has the snap. Rolls to his left. Looking to throw it to the sideline. Does so. The catch made and a 3 yards short of the first down. Good effort by Ashton Smith and Alex Estrella coming back, making the grab and coming up just short. And Hazleton area will take over the football with a chance to put this one away with 3:51 to go. They lead 20-10.
It was a nice looking play. He rolled to his left, and it's tough for him to throw in that direction, but he was eventually able to square his shoulders after a long rollout, find Estrella near the sideline, drive it into him. Estrella tried to turn it upfield. The secondary is going to play a little bit loose, make sure of the tackles, and keep him short of the chains.
3:51 remaining. 20-10, Hazleton area, and they have the football at the Berwick 41-yard line. Slot to the left side. Wilson out of the gun. He's going to keep it himself as he rolls left. Has some running room. Breaks free. He's going to go for a touchdown. Austin Wilson, 41 yards for the score.
Now Berwick gets its head down. We saw this up at Lackawanna Trail where there's some easier scores in the 4th period, Jim. And you just can't let that demoralization set in. You got to play football to the final whistle. You know, had this gone out 20-10, you can hold your head and say, hey, we're in the game. You let them tack one on very easily, and it's not like they're trying to pile it on. Pretty vanilla play for a team that runs its quarterback more than any other position. You just can't give them that easy of a touchdown without fighting.
Austin Wilson is a terrific running quarterback.
Yes.
Mariano will attempt the extra point. His kick is up, and his kick is good. Timeout on the field, 3:41 to go. Hazleton area 27, Berwick 10. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
3:41 to go in this one. The final score is the only thing in doubt here as Hazleton area is pulled away. They trailed in this one 10-7 with 7 minutes to go in the third. And then really the key part of the game right there. Berwick had a first and goal at the 10, a chance to go up 17-7. Not only did they not make it, but they missed the 30-yard field goal, and on the very next play, Austin Wilson scampered 80 yards for a touchdown to give Hazleton area a lead they have never relinquished. In fact, have added to here in the second half.
Yeah, Austin Wilson's quite the talent, Jim. Let him find the seam. He likes to run. He seems to enjoy collision. Boy, he enjoys more finding the seam and using the speed to get down the sideline.
What will his average yards per carry be after this game?
Well, I have him at 118, and boy, that's I'd have to count how many carries. You know, Berwick had a number of sacks along the way.
And he had a 43-yard run for a touchdown against West Scranton last Friday.
Yeah. So he was 25 for 165 coming into the game. So we'd have to average the 118 and then count the rest of the things. But, yeah, it's going to be a high average.
Yeah, we talked about the threat of Billy Hansen as a running quarterback. How about the threat of Austin Wilson?
Yeah.
Mariano will kick it off. 3:41 to go. His kick be fielded by one of the up men at the 25-yard line, and the return over the 30 out to about the 33. So Berwick will see if they can get one more score on the board here with 3:36 to go. Again, we'll be right back here at Crispin Field next Friday. First meeting since 1949 of the Bulldogs and the Hawkeyes of Hanover area. Game, as usual, starts at 7. And our coverage starts with the C.J. Curry Show at 6. So this one will hurt perhaps more than the last couple of weeks, because this take nothing away from Hazleton area. This looked like a winnable game.
Seemed very winnable, Jim. And again, just too many mistakes. Offsides, holdings, 15-yard penalties that you don't even know what it is, but it's after the play. Interceptions that shouldn't happen for touchdowns. Mental mistakes.
Ashton Smith back in there at the quarterback controls. He fires into traffic. It's intended for Billy Hansen, and it's knocked down. Incomplete. Good play by Carlos Gonzalez in the secondary for the Cougars.
Yeah, nicely defended. But again, they're going to be backpedaling from the get-go, knowing that if Berwick wants any chance of at least closing the gap, they're going to have to try to get for the big play. So Austin Smith throwing where he knows there's going to be coverage, unable to connect.
Second down and 10. Bulldogs from their own 37-yard line. So we have 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Smith out of the gun. Has the snap, back to throw, good coverage. Completes the pass out to the 45-yard line as Shiloh Escobar makes his first catch of the season.
Yeah, real nice. Look at about 7-8 yards on that. Nice protection for the quarterback, Austin Smith. Able to stand tall in the pocket and find Escobar coming from the left side of the field over to the right behind the linebackers. I'll give him about 8 yards on that.
3rd and 2. Escobar, one of 3 receivers to the left. Ashton Smith out of the gun. gives the ball off to Brock Sims off the left side looking for the first down yardage, and he is close.
But I think just short. We'll have to see how they do stretch it out, where the spot goes.
Brock Sims is a sophomore, 5'9", 165-pounders. We have a player injured on the field for the Cougars.
And stretching the leg like it is the cramp, Jim.
Andy and I will be at Danny Hill Field in Redmond Stadium tomorrow for Bloomsburg University football. That'll be on Bigfoot Country, 106.5. In fact, the brother of Hazleton area football coach Dennis Bookman is an excellent running back at Bloomsburg. Unfortunately, after a 94-yard first half in their opening game win, suffered an injury, and he'll not be in uniform tomorrow.
But what a stable of young running backs we saw behind him to finish off that game, Jim. 4 names you weren't expecting to see on the stat sheet, all getting good tallies in the running game for the Huskies, who have a very experienced offensive line.
Sam Heller was the injured player. Brock Sims did pick up the first down on that carry. And Berwick has it at their own 47-yard line. Smith back to throw. All the time in the world, looks long downfield. Should be a flag as Decker was being held, and here it comes.
You have good eyes, Jimmy Doyle. I was following the ball in the air. You were following the defenders with your eyes. I like Decker as a tight end. I think of him more as a possession receiver. Usually has very good hands, and it's that type of little spit pass that's usually easy for quarterbacks to complete. This time he's lined up on the left, and as a tight end, he's posting down the middle, using speed to try to split the 2 safeties, and they have to hold on to him to prevent him from getting to that football.
So the penalty will give Berwick a first down at the Hazleton area 38-yard line with 2:35 to go. So they break the huddle. Alex Estrella, who has a catch in this game, is wide to the left. Slot to the right. Decker is in the slot. Smith back to throw. Looking long, downfield, incomplete. Down around the 8-yard line. Pass a little bit overthrown.
Shiloh Escobar was the target, trying to use his speed. But coverage pretty good. If you don't overthrow it, you do risk the interception. Little contact at the end, but so incidental, you're not going to get a flag out of it.
And getting back to Gabe Decker and playing a wide receiver now, after playing tight end most of this season, I think he's going to be one of those special talents where it's just a matter of where you want to put him.
I agree. And it may evolve from year to year, just a freshman.
Brock Sims gets the call off the left side. He's got some running room. Did a flag fly as he gets the first down inside the 30?
I thought maybe it was the football, but Brock Sims comes up with that. Maybe someone lost a shoe, Jim, going out of bounds. I saw what you saw, but I don't think it was yellow. He'll get the chains. Or was there a flag?
There was.
Oh.
And that's going to be one of the big statistics of this game.
Yeah.
The number of penalties against Berwick. Brings back to the 42, nullifies a really good run by Brock Sims.
Yeah, the team is just lacking a military sharpness you want to see when you have the winner, Jim. Just too many mistakes. Too many mistakes and hurting yourself.
Smith fires out here. Has a man inside the 40, and out of bounds is Shiloh Escobar to about the 35-yard line.
Like the way he ran with that, Jim. He was kind of at a glide and waiting to see where he could turn on the jets.
And guess what? Flag down the play.
Yeah.
We had so few in the first half
that
I wonder if the crew got together at halftime and said, you know, we got to start calling some penalties. This game is going too fast.
We're not earning our money.
Penalty back to the 47-yard line, a hold against Berwick. Under 2 minutes to play now. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ashton Smith has the shotgun snap, and he's back to throw, and he has some time, and he rolls right, and he stops, and throws it up for grabs downfield. Escobar has it knocked out of his hands at the last moment at the 5. thrown pretty well by Ashton Smith. And a good play. Was it that ninth grade safety
yes,
again?
It was. All 5'8", 140 pounds of Xavier Heck. He's in position against a much taller receiver. He's able to time his jump and punch it away at the last minute.
We were talking about Gabe Decker as a special talent as a ninth grader. And how about Xavier Heck for Hazleton area? He's special as well.
Very, very much so.
3 receivers to the left for the Bulldogs on 3rd and 19 from the Cougar 47. Smith has the snap. Back to throw, fires, it's dropped by Gabe Decker at the 42-yard line.
Got to make that catch, Gabe. I like what I'm seeing out of Ashton Smith in these final minutes, Jim. He looks calm, getting the shotgun, rolling away from any pressure, throwing to the receivers that he thinks are going to be open. He has to get it downfield. He looks pretty good, but Hazleton's playing pretty good defense.
4th and very, very long for the Bulldogs at their own 47. 3 receivers to the left. Decker to the right. Smith has it, back to throw. Looking, launches, long downfield, has a man, and it's broken up. Pretty well thrown ball by Ashton Smith. Estrella was the intended receiver, and a nice play out of the secondary by the Cougars.
Xavier Heck yet again, Jim. He wanted to throw a screen pass. Berwick's taking a timeout. I think they're going to change a lot of their personnel here with 1:26 to go.
And again, a reminder, the Hawkeyes of Hazleton area, Hanover, will be here next Friday. Hawkeyes had no wins also going into tonight's game. They were losing to Old Fords last we heard. Again, stay with us in our post game, and Ashlyn Walshaw will bring us updated on the scores. I neglected to mention this. We ran out of time in the pregame, but there was a moment of silence to start the festivities tonight for 3 former Bulldog players who died this week. Steve Romeo from the class of 68, Joe Plish from the class of 1982, and Mark Pruitt from the class of 78. So they had a moment of silence for those 3 before the game. As Hazleton area takes over at their 47-yard line, Freddie Cordero is the quarterback. He hands off and again about to the Berwick 48-yard line.
Sam Miller, I believe, was the man who made that carry. Jim, he has 3 carries on the year for 7 yards. Cordero hands to him, and he'll gain 4 or 5.
On the 49, 2nd down and 6 upcoming. DeMarcus McMillan among the people in for Berwick. Connor Roberts, who saw some action offensively last Friday, in there at a linebacker position for the Bulldogs with 45 seconds to play.
Braden Schaefer at one of the safeties.
Freddie Corrado is that quarterback. He gives off the right side. Sam Miller again. That may do it for this one. Corrado's a great prospect. He's just a sophomore, 6'4", 175. He actually threw for 200 the Bulldogs last year, the 39-34 Berwick win here at Crispin Field.
Hazleton's running to the sideline. The clock's not stopping with 12, 11, and 10 seconds to go, so that will be it, Jim.
And the final score, Hazleton area 27 and Berwick 10. Stay with us in the post game. I'll have all the scoring. Andy will have the stats, and Ashlyn Walshaw will have some final scores from games across the region. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. Personalized for you.
New delectable menu options, bar offerings, and comfortable room accommodations. Check out their Facebook page for updates and information on how to book your next corporate event or special day at the Willows Golf Course and Event Venue in Berwick. The Willows is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan for 3 generations. Gift, service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online.
We use the most advanced technology for faster, better results. So Elite
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Hazleton area comes up big in the second half to beat Berwick 27-10. Carlos Gonzalez of the Cougars had a great kickoff return to start the game. Hazleton area eventually had a 4th and 9 at the Berwick 41-yard line. And then a big sack by Gavin Galusha on quarterback Austin Wilson. Berwick took over, went 3 and out. Second time they had it, though, Billy Hansen getting his first career start as quarterback. Put together a brilliant 30-yard run that set up the Bulldogs 1st and 10 at the 28, but 3 straight tackles for losses ended the threat. Berwick did get on the board in the second quarter, capping an 8-play, 87-yard drive on a 39-yard touchdown run by Gavin Galusha. It ended a streak of 12 consecutive quarters without the Berwick offense scoring. Caleb Yost had the extra point. Berwick had a 7-0 lead. Hazleton area got together for a 10-play, 56-yard drive. Austin Wilson, their outstanding senior quarterback, faked to the right, ran it to the left from 2 yards out for the touchdown. Jack Mariano with the extra point. That came with just 21 seconds to go in the half. Half ending, score tied at 7. In the third quarter, off the second half kickoff, Berwick put together a 9-play drive. Starting at their 29, they reached the Cougar 11-yard line, and 9th grader Caleb Yost came on to kick a 28-yard field goal. Biggest play on that 9-play drive, a 32-yard run by Gavin Galusha. So Berwick had a 10-7 lead. And the next time Hazleton area got it, Berwick came up with a big defensive play. Caleb May coming on a cornerback blitz from the backside. Hit quarterback Austin Wilson hard. Ball popped loose. Gabe Decker recovered at the 24-yard line. Eventually, Berwick had a 1st and goal at the 10. Chance to really put themselves in great position. A chance at a 17-7 lead. Again, penalties, which really hurt the Bulldogs, particularly in the second half. Made it a difficult situation. They did try a 30-yard field goal, which was no good. And on the very next play for Hazleton area, Austin Wilson, following 2 blockers off the left, showed great speed with an 80-yard run down the far sideline for the touchdown. The kick failed, but the Cougars had their first lead at 13-7. Later, under 2 minutes to go in the third, Berwick, 3rd and long, elected to go the air, and Ashton Smith's pass was picked off by Xavier Heck, returned 25 yards for the score. Hazleton area extended their lead after Mariano's extra point to 20-10. And then the Cougars put the cap on the scoring in the fourth quarter as Austin Wilson again. Terrific run from 41 yards out. Mariano with the extra point. That came with 3:41 to go in the game. That was the end of the scoring. The final score, Hazleton area 27 and Berwick 10. We'll check other scores with Ashlyn Walshaw. We'll check stats with Andy Lickney. When we return, you're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
This is Mike from M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg. Is this the first time you've shopped with us? Let me explain why you should shop at a Carpet One store. We have over 1,300 store buying power. Carpet One stores sell more floor covering than the two big box stores do combined. That means not only do you get the best price, but you get to work with flooring professionals throughout the entire process, from estimates to installation. No one will give you more for your flooring dollar than M&M Carpet One in Bloomsburg.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Visit your Bloomsburg State Farm agent, Sean Black, at insurebloomsburg.com.
Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is proud to be keeping generations of beautiful smiles across Bulldog Nation. Dr. Susan Ermish, Dr. Nathaniel Fluke, and their staff practice general and restorative dentistry, and they're open Monday through Friday. Whether you need a simple cleaning or a complicated procedure, Berwick Dental Arts will see that you have the best smile so you can be your best. Berwick Dental Arts, 9th Street in Berwick, is a proud supporter of Berwick Bulldogs football. Visit their website at berwickdentalarts.com.
Experience the difference at Blaze Alexander Family Dealership. For over 40 years, Blaze Alexander has been Central PA's top choice for unbeatable prices. With 20 locations and 11 brands, we have what you want at a price you deserve. Over 4,000 new and pre-owned vehicles available. Why go anywhere else? Stop and shop or check us out online at blazealexander.com. Sales, service, parts, collision.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
This is Berwick football coach CJ Curry. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Give me a signal, because I can.
Hey, it's Andy Elickney, and I got the stats from this last Berwick game as we had a few technical difficulties. We'll try to get Jim back on the air for the wrap in a few minutes. Overall, it just wasn't Berwick's night. They put together some real nice numbers, but not enough to match with Hazleton. They had 223 yards in total offense, but Hazleton matched with 272 yards in total offense. Let's start with Hazleton. In the running game, 176 yards, and a lot of it to the quarterback, Austin Wilson. He ran 10 times for 118 yards of the team's 176. Very impressive athlete. On the season, he has 35 carries for 283 yards. That's averaging 8 yards a carry. In this one, 10 carries for 118 for the running quarterback, Austin Wilson. Other runners with success, Ashton Carlick, 7 carries for 29 yards. Sam Miller carried twice at the end for 7. And Hunter Johnson, 6 carries for 22 yards. In all, Hazleton rushed 25 times for 176. But again, 118 of the 176 by the running quarterback, Austin Wilson, most of it on 2 big touchdown runs. Passing, he was 8 of 16, no interceptions, 96 yards in the air. Standout receiver, Johansel Moran, he had 4 catches for 37 yards. John Carlos Peralta had 1 catch for 1 yard. Hunter Johnson out of the backfield took 1 for 14. And Carlos Gonzalez, 2 catches for him, a total of 44 yards. 96 in the air for Hazleton, 176 on the ground, make it 272 yards in total offense. Berwick came through with 223 yards. 176 of those were on the ground, exactly the same as Hazleton's number, 47 in the air. It wasn't going to be a lot of passing in the game plan, but Berwick I have finishing 6 of 15 with the one interception for 47 yards. Gabe Decker with 2 of the catches for 22 yards. Alex Estrella with 2 catches for 16. Gavin Galusha, 1 catch for 1. Shiloh Escobar, he ends up with 1 catch for 8. 47 in the air on 6 pass completions. A combination of Ashton Smith and Billy Hansen, both quarterbacks. On the ground, Gavin Galusha had a strong night, 17 carries for 112 yards. Philip May, a 4-yard carry. Aiden George, a tote for 3. Tyler Wilkerson caught in the backfield on a jet sweep, lost 3. The team lost 1 on a kneel down at the end of the half. Brock Sims, 2 yards on his single carry. And Billy Hansen put in a quarterback to do some running, kept people excited. 9 carries, 59 yards for quarterback Billy Hansen. 180 positive yards, lost 4, so a net of 176 on the ground on 30 rushes. 47 in the air, a total of 223 for Berwick. It doesn't match the 227 that Hazleton put up. A few too many penalties. I'm not good enough to keep a tally of them, but it hurt Berwick at the end and a little demoralized at the end as well. Sees Hazleton pad that score.
27-10 is the final here. For an update on other scores, let's go to Ashlyn Walshaw.
Thanks, Jim. Mount Carmel beat Southern Columbia 7-6. That's final. Old Forge beat Hanover Area 42-7. That's final. Danville beat Central Columbia 54-8. That's final. As of last reports, Warrior Run leads Bloomsburg 31-21 in the third. Western Wayne beat Crestwood 21-0. That's final. Dallas defeated Wilkes-Barre Area 41-31. That's final. Lackawanna Trail defeated Dunmore 28-7. That's final. Lewisburg defeated Hughesville 39-20. That's final. Riverside defeated Lake Lehman 42-12. That's final. Loyalsock currently leads Midwest 54-6 in the fourth. Mid-Valley defeated Honesdale 27-14. That's final. Montoursville defeated Mifflinburg 27-20. That's final. Milton defeated South Williamsport. This is a close one, 22-20. That's final. Nanticoke defeated Tunkhannock 14-12. That's final. Pittston Area defeated Wyoming Valley West 48-7. That's final. Selinsgrove defeated Central Mountain 41-13. That's final. Shamokin defeated Jersey Shore 30-28. That's final. Williamsport defeated Shikellamy 20-0. That's final. And Wyoming Area defeated Lakeland 56-6. That's final. Now back one more time to Crispin Field with Jim Doyle and Andy Ulickney.
Okay, thank you very much, Ashlyn. With the victory tonight, Hazleton Area improves to 2-2. They'll be home against Wyoming Valley West next Friday.